feeling cleaner than I ever would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Guys, I want to get into this conversation. I really wanted to do this the other day, but I felt like I wanted to get a little bit more information. I want to talk about this. For some of you guys that are new to this channel, I come from a background of education. I worked in education for 6 years. I was a substitute. I went to be a paraprofessional, and then I ended up working in intervention. And this topic for me is very serious for me because I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about with what's going on with the schools and the kids and the parents at this time. Some of the things that we're going to talk about today may not be the happiest part of your day. Some of the things that we may talk about, you may agree with. Some things you may not agree with, but I think that it's at least worth a conversation. So I do want to jump into that. So before we do all that, let's take care of the business of this channel. If you want to join the SoDeb Nation, turn on your notifications. Turn them on all so you notify every time I go live or post a new video. Subscribe to the channel first, then do that. Like the video, share the video, comment down below in the comment section. If anything you hear, you want to talk about, you have a comment on if you're tuning in late. If you're here for the live, comment in the chat. I want to hear your opinion. This is a live where I really want to hear your opinion. Okay, so let's play this intro and let's get into it. Let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every day wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
All right, y'all, and I am back. All right, what's going on to Mika in the chat? Hey, how are you? And it definitely should be discussed. It definitely should be discussed. I know this is not going to be a popular topic on social media with all the things that are going on, and hopefully we do get people to join. I'm not even going to worry about the viewers in the chat. We're just going to talk, and as people come in, hopefully they'll join the conversation. But nevertheless, just want to give my background a little bit more. So after COVID, I started off working as a substitute. And when I got to the school, there were really no teachers left there. I was like substitutes were running the building because teachers were either out sick because of the pandemic. They didn't feel safe coming back. We had on our mask at the time, and the kids were being kids. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, James? And so I remember my first week. Actually, my first two places that I went to, I was there maybe my first two places I went to was probably like a day. And then the last school that I got to, I was there for an entire week. And when I tell you I was ready to quit and never substitute again, I literally sat in front of the classroom. I was like, because they kept on, they were like bothering me, like, you ain't gonna come back anyway. You don't come back anyway. And I'm like, well, why would I want to come back? Y'all don't even want to learn anything. And so one of the little girls at the school, love her to the ends of this earth. I remember I was getting ready to walk out, doing dismissal, and she told me, she was like, please don't leave. She was like, we haven't had anybody that stayed here, long enough. And that's why they're acting like this, because everybody just leaves us. Broke my heart, right? So I ended up going back that next week. Oh, hold on, y'all. Let me get the chair. I ended up going back that next week. and I was there. I never left the school after that. I came on the next year as a full time sub, and then the year after that, they hired me on as a paraprofessional. The year that I was there as a full time sub, there was a kid that was there, and I didn't really know what was going on. A lot of times, all I'm doing was like he was on a laptop, but he was always looking at. They had like this little screen that they looked at, to like they had like a little thing called a clever badge, and so they hold it up to the screen and it logs you into the computer if you like, or you can type your email address in or whatever. He never made it past that screen. Um, and so for the full year, I didn't really even know because most of the kids, by the time I got to their computers, they was already logged in. So the end of that year, they asked me did I want to come on full time as a paraprofessional, and I'm like, well, sure. I mean, I don't mind doing it. Who would I be working with? And so they pointed out that the kid that was looking at the computer screen the entire time. So I'm like, okay, how does this work? What's going on? Like, give me the backstory of how I can help. So the boy had he had I don't even really know all of the disabilities that he did have, but it was enough where I realized that it was going to be some work that year. I'm going into this is third grade because I was in second grade first. I was in first grade the first year for that first half of the year. I went to second grade for the full time, and then my third grade year I was there full time as a paraprofessional. So I get to the school. I done called people a million times. Like, what can I do to prepare myself for this? Where are we starting at? And they're like, basically my job is to scaffold his work. And I'm like, okay. I never seen him do any work, so I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe he just needed that, and no one did it because even when he had a paraprofessional the year before that, it was a substitute. She was pregnant. She left halfway through the school year. So all the other substitutes that came into the school building with him, they didn't do anything with him. They just sit next to him, took him to the bathroom, all the things he had to do. So the school year finally starts, and I get to the classroom that I'm going to be in, and shout out to I call my little brother, because me and him together was a dynamic duo. Like y'all, our classroom was on fire the entire school year. Um, but I sat down with him. I'm like, kind of go over what you gonna be going through, so I can establish his work. And so I sat down. We started having our meetings or whatever. We used to stay after school for like maybe 2 hours, the first maybe month, just to go over what was going to be taught that week, and then I would take it back, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I would try to scaffold work for him. So school starts, and it's time to start doing work. What's going on, Whitney? How are you? Um, so that I know so many people that didn't make it through the pandemic. I basically stayed in the house. Thank God I didn't. Yeah, same here. Um, so the school year starts. Now I get to working with him, and I'm like, he's not doing any of the work. So I'm logging him into the computer. I'm helping him log into the computer, and he's just like one finger in it, boop, 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 boop. Because in third grade, they don't get the little badges. They have to actually type their email address and stuff in there. He's just sitting there. So I'm like, okay, let me help him out. So I helped him out the first few times. And then I'm like, something's not really sitting right, right? So I go to my I guess she was my manager. I guess she was I don't really know what her title was, but she was like the person I went to before I got to my sister principal. And I'm like, I'm noticing some things, and I'm trying to figure out, how to go about this because he can't even log into the computer. And I'm like, I don't, something's not sitting right with me. And so she was like, well, you know, just work with him and see what you can figure out. So finally, I'm going to figure out that the boy can't read and he can't even write. I'm like, write your name down. He's writing letters all over the paper in different places, all type of shit. And I'm just like, okay, got it. Mind you, I know these kids come from COVID. I believe that their grade, their first grade year, I think, or their second grade year, they weren't in school. They were on the computers. So I'm like, all right, cool, got it. You know what I'm saying? We can fix this. We can fix this. All right. So I'm going over all these things with him, and I'm realizing he doesn't comprehend what he does read, but he can repeat what he hears. And so I'm like, how can I scaffold third grade work for him when he can't even do kindergarten work? So what I did was scrub whatever they got going on. We were starting from the basics. I went to kindergarten and got kindergarten work for him, and we worked our way on up. Okay. Long story short, by the end of that school year, the boy was on a first grade reading level. Um, I literally took him through the basics. We was doing alphabet letter. He was writing letters backwards. He was writing letters upside down, all kind of things. And come to find out that year, his vision was off. I believe that he's seen upside down and backwards. But I fought, and just so happened with me and the nurse worked it out where we had the whole school their eyes checked, and they were able to get free glasses for all the kids at the school. Shout out to us. All right. So he finally got his glasses, but then he also had some health issues. So he was going to the hospital. So he wasn't able to get them for a while. But finally, when he got them glasses, y'all, it was game time. So when I tell y'all, I went shout out to Teachers Pay Teachers. If you guys have children at home and you know what your child is like what they're working on at school, and they're not sending home homework to your child, go onto the website Teachers Pay Teachers. You can download different worksheets and things like that to help push your kid along, right? So I went on there. I got him all kind of, I mean, just everything I could find with the alphabet on it. I even went on to, I had my own big dry erase board in the back, and so we would go on the back wall, and we would trace. I would do it with my hands, like this is how the letter F goes, like this. And he would watch him. He would go, mm, like with the letter F, right? And so like all this, I'm learning how to work with him this entire time, and so when I tell y'all, like, it just made me so happy. I was so proud, like it was my kid. I run around like, oh my God, guess what he did? Guess what he did? You know what I'm saying? So that entire school year, y'all, it was hell on earth because not only do I have him, but we also have a class of 30 other kids, right? My responsibility was only supposed to be to work with him, but because I'm really good with behavioral problems, I also helped out in the classroom with the behaviors as well, just so that my co-teacher could actually teach the class. So when I'm working with my kid, the other kids are going on and on and doing their work. Then we have our behavioral kids, and we get another. So it was what, four classrooms for third grade. It was two math classes and two reading classes. The class that I sat in for most of the day was a math class, and I would just keep my kid with me throughout the day, especially when it came to reading and writing, because he wasn't going to be able to go in those classrooms anyway and do any of that work at that time. And so I would keep him, and we would do kindergarten work, until we got to the first grade work. We did all of the sight words. When I tell you that boy could read, when I tell you that boy, by the time that end of that school year happened, he would read everything on the walls. I went to every YouTube video I could find. I found this thing where they would have like these little necklaces. They would make like these little yarn necklaces with a flashcard on it, and he would have a word of the week. And I would write the word on the front of the. I would write the word on the back of the card, and on the front of it was they asked me a question. And so the teachers, the kids, they would ask me a question, and they would flip it around, and they would say spell cat. He would spell cat. Move over to bigger words, spell from. He would spell from. So then we worked on like the definition of these words, y'all. Like when I tell you I went out of my way to do these things. I met his mother at the very beginning of the school year, and I realized that I don't think she had a really great experience with all the other teachers that she had worked with before, because when I first met her, our interaction was not that great. Um, because he had health issues, she was very overprotective over him, and I don't even know if she knew that her son couldn't do the stuff that was being sent home to him. So I sat down with her. I called her. Once I realized all this, I said, "Listen, we got some work to do this year," and I'm like, "I don't know what you have dealt with before me, but I'm not the rest of these people. What I want to do is make sure that your son is able to has basic learning skills. And right now he doesn't have any of those things." And she was like, "Well, I don't want you to baby him anyway, so whatever it takes, just let me know." When I tell y'all I have a good relationship with this lady till this day, he's actually my godson now. Um, but we worked that entire school year. So I want to get into these topics to tell you that there are teachers out there that really do care, but it takes the teacher and the parent relationship to make these things work. And I think that the biggest problem and the issue that we're having is that that's not connecting for a lot of people. People think, a lot of parents think that they send these kids to school and then we're the babysitter, we're the behavioral person, we're their school teacher, we're their mother, their father, they're missing. We're all these things, and we're there to teach. Outside of these responsibilities that we have with your child, we have all these responsibilities. The school keeps piling on and piling on and piling on and piling on. We get home and we're exhausted. And I see people talk about this all the time. I wish I was a teacher because we get all these breaks, baby. By the time that break comes, you're asleep that entire week. Summer break, you might get a month out of it, maybe a half a month out of that, because you're so exhausted from the school year. When you get off work, you're still at work because the school sends you home with all this other different stuff to do. You're exhausted by the time you get back to school the next day to work with these kids. I had another kid, and then we'll jump into these topics again. I had another kid come to school, behavior problems all day, every day. You couldn't do nothing with them, nothing. And so, I'm like, this is what I'm going to say. So me working with the kid that I'm working with, and I call them kids, so I know you're not supposed to call them that, but I made it a joke. Those are my little baby goats, okay? And they think it's funny. I think it's funny. But I had another kid that they moved into our class because the teacher that had him before she couldn't work with him. So they moved him into our class, and I was like, I don't think that's a good idea because I have my student that's there, and he had his attention span is not great when there's chaos going on in the classroom. And so what's going to happen is it's going to make me have to do more work. And my job is only to work with this one kid. But you know what they did? They still set him in the classroom. And I sat with my manager. I sat with my AP. And I had wrote a whole email explaining why it wasn't a good idea. And they said, well, let's try it. Let's try it means we're still going to do it anyway, and it's not going to change. And you don't want to move these kids from classroom to classroom because you don't know what goes on at home with them having to go from place to place. So you're causing all kind of other different issues with that part alone, right? So one thing that we had learned was that the teacher that he had before, when he would have behavior problems, she would put him out the classroom. So he felt like he didn't have anywhere to go because every time he does something wrong, he gets put out the classroom. And instead of her trying to figure out what was going on, she just put him out. So here I come. I'm like, every time he's having an issue, what's the issue? What's the issue? What's the issue? And mind you, I kind of worked with him a year before this, but not a lot. So, I mean, I kind of knew that he had behavior problems, but I didn't know where it came from. So I realized that he came to school late. He missed breakfast. So that was the first thing. So I would go, when I got to work, we would have our morning meetings, and then I would go upstairs to the cafeteria. You had to battle with the cafeteria staff because you can't have free breakfast. Not the teachers. Nope, can't have it. Well, who is this for? It's for a student, man. And then they do give the kids a late breakfast thing, but it's like fruit and granola bars or something like that. So I would go up there after our meeting. I would grab his breakfast. I would go put it down in the assistant principal's office. I would go upstairs and do arrival, come back downstairs. By the time we're done with arrival, he just now getting to school. I take him over into the assistant principal's office, set him up, eat his breakfast. When you're done, come into the classroom. So then I'm going in there, I'm working with my student I got to work with. And then after that, boom, we got another problem because now we're doing math. Well, he's not good at math, and he doesn't know how to verbally say this. So now he's causing, I'm banging on desks. I'm making cat noises. I'm making any kind of animal noise I can make. I'm kicking desks. I'm bothering other students. I'm doing all these things. And I'm like, well, what's the issue? I'm taking him outside. What's the issue? He don't want to talk. I went through this for maybe 2 months. 2 months. Finally, he says, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, do you realize we could have been fixed this problem had you just said you don't know how to do it? And the craziest part was, y'all, he did know how to do it. He just was afraid to ask first because he didn't want to get laughed at. He also has a health issue as well, where he has body odors. And so I'm like, you're causing people to want to make fun of you because you're doing all this. So now I'm like, you know what? This is what we're going to do. I'm doing more work with him than I'm doing with my student. So I'm like, you know what we're gonna do before you come here every morning? We're gonna get your breakfast. I'm gonna set my student up real quick, and then we're gonna have a pep talk every morning. So every morning, he looked forward to that. Every morning we having a pep talk. All right, so we got our breakfast. We feel good, right? Yep. Let's go to the bathroom. Going to the bathroom. Are we going to class now? If you have an issue, raise your hand. Never raise his hand. Oh, I'm getting kicking desks, making cat noises, making bird noises. Again, I'm like, what's going on? Let's step outside. I'm afraid to ask questions. Okay, so when it comes to the back with me. So because he comes to back to me, guess what? Work gets done, right? With all be doing all this, I'm helping my co-teacher with not having to deal with behavior problems. And so because other students saw this happening, now everybody's doing it. So I'm like, now it's becoming a problem because they want to sit in the back and do stuff with me. I'm like, y'all don't have these same issues. And so we had to sit through the classroom and tell them, like, y'all, this is not a privilege. It's not a privilege. Like, if y'all all do this, it's not gonna be this. So we literally cleared our classroom out to the point where we were able to work with the kids that we did have and let them know, like, this is not a privilege to come having to sit in the back with me, because guess what? He also loses parts of his recess time because he does this. Until you learn how to use your words, I can't reward you for anything, right? In the school, oh, well, you can't take the entire recess away. Well, what do you expect us to do? Because these behaviors are going to keep on happening. But guess who I called? Mom, this is what's happening. This is how I'm making it work. And mom is cool with it. So now I got two parents on my side. But it just took me to be able to reach out to these parents and do this. And so what we're talking about today is building that relationship with parents and the teachers and why it needs to happen, okay? And also just some basic things that it comes to when you are working with teachers and what we're responsible for, what we ain't, okay? Because the stuff that I did, I went out of my way to do. One, because I really wanted my friend. It was his first year of teaching, and I just met this guy this year. He was like 23, I think, 22 when he first got there. And I was like, I've been around these kids before. I know I can get, so let me help him make this a smooth year for him. So I'm telling you, I did my thing. All right. So let's get into our first video now that I got all that out of the way. All right. All right. Things that are not a teacher's responsibility.
Things that have somehow become teachers' responsibilities when really it's the responsibility of the student or the student's guardian. So don't stress out about these things, teachers. They're not our problem. Number one, absenteeism. I don't understand why districts across the U.S. are saying that if my lesson is engaging enough, it'll solve chronic absenteeism. No, I have nothing to do with whether a kid shows up to school or not and if they come on time. That is the parent's responsibility and the child's responsibility. Number two.
And that's not even the child's responsibility. That is the parent's responsibility. Kids do not drive themselves to school, okay? We had a girl in our classroom, smart as, I don't know, get out of town. She's smart. But her mom worked late at night and she couldn't get to school on time. That's not that girl's fault. And that's not the teacher's fault. Hell, I don't even want to know if I want to say that's the mom's fault. But they can only do what they can do. It takes a special kind of patience to deal with these kids. I couldn't do it because I probably end up, that's why I'm not there anymore. So I definitely do agree. But I think that it's not fair for them to make the kids pay for their attendance if they don't drive to school. They have no way to get there. I'm working in primary.
Teachers, it is not our job to beg for missing work. I'm sorry, it is not my job. I will take late work until the day grades are due, but I am not begging for missing work. That is a parent's responsibility. Nowadays, you have an app. Every time I type in missing in the grade book, it should automatically send a notification to my middle school students and their parents. And if their parents don't pay their kid to do it, I sure am not doing it.
And that's true as well. We have apps at our school. It's called I can't think of what it was called. Some infamous campus, and it would send out notifications if your kid didn't turn in the work, if your kids wasn't doing nothing right, if your kids got in trouble, it goes straight to the parents' phones. But you know what that caused? Parents not to answer the phone. Parents taking the app off their phones, right? And so then by the time it comes for grade card time, then if you're trying to set up the parents-teacher conference, guess what? They ain't answering the phone. Then you try to meet them outside at the parking lot. They skirting off before they can even get there. So then you know what you got to do? You got to walk the kid to the car to talk to the parent. So no, I don't. It's not a teacher's fault to be chasing kids down for no grades. I've called you. I've wrote an information campus. You got the email. You got the text message. If you took it off your phone, that's not my fault. They change their numbers every 5 seconds. That's not a teacher's fault. And I feel like we need to make sure that we understand that if you got a friend that be doing this, let them know, because we have parents that the kids were sick at school or having like, emergencies. We can't even contact them because they don't want to hear from us.
It is not my job to supply basic school supplies, food, or clothing to your child. I don't think the general public understands how much money a teacher spends on feeding children, clothing children, and giving them basic school supplies. And
that is true too. Although the school that I work with, they did supply all the school supplies for the kids. They didn't really need. Well, actually, they supplied it, but the kids went through it so fast. By maybe the first 2 to 3 months, it was gone. But that's why I even came up, and that goes again. That's why I came with the system called the Lay Bank. It was a bank that I created for the classroom, and the kids got rewards for keeping their utensils, coming to school prepared. They rented out their desks. They paid for electricity. They paid for the water bill. They rented their desks, their laptops. They paid for these things, so they understood the value of these things. And if they had enough money, they can also shop at my store that I had as well, because you had to teach them to value the things that they want. You know what I'm saying? It's not a responsibility, and a lot, and all that stuff that I bought for that store came out of my pocket. The school did not pay for any of that stuff, and I'm telling you, I bought expensive things for them because I knew that if they saw things that they actually would want, they would work for it. They would not keep throwing pencils on the trash, playing pencil fighting. They wouldn't be losing those markers and the whiteboards and all those things. Them kids kept that stuff for most of the school year because they wanted to get that money. Then you had to teach them how to count it.
Last thing I'm not stressing myself out about is I'm not an entertainer. It is not my job to create this like Broadway production in my class to make a kid want to learn. No, it is on the child to want to learn. I can't make a kid want to learn. I can't make a kid do the things in class. It's not my job. So if a kid nowadays says, hey, I'm not doing this work, cool, that's on you and your parent. That's a conversation you two can have.
Now for that part, I really don't think that was good that she said that, because they're going to pass that kid anyway. And I understand that she shouldn't have to put on a production for the kid to make the kid want to learn or whatever, but you got to come up with ways, because sometimes these kids don't have any type of motivation. And a lot of these kids, again, don't understand how to say, I need help. I can't do. This is frustrating to me. I keep trying, or I've given up trying. A lot of these kids don't want to say that because there's other kids are pretending they even know how to do it, or they have the other kids who are more advanced than them, which to me, I do not understand why schools do this. They put kids who are advanced in the same room with kids who have IEPs and 504s. So then they're really afraid to say anything, because the kids who are more advanced than them can answer the question in 5 minutes. I mean, they barely can even answer anything, because the kids that are advanced are answering every damn thing. The only thing I would say about the boy who had the behavior problems was eventually around the school year, he ended up getting really smart and going to sit and by the kids who were advanced and learning from them. Because I would pair him up with him, like, go over there and sit with so-and-so. He already done this work, or go sit with so-and-so. Sure, it done her work, because it helps out. But that's also not those kids' responsibilities to be able to help them kids. It's our responsibility. And the schools need to set the classrooms up for a group of kids who learn at the same level, and move them up to different classrooms as they get to different levels. Putting them all in one room is chaotic. No one wins in that situation. And we're dealing with behavior problems more than we're even teaching. So I thought that was a horrible way to set up a classroom, and I complained about it. And I was good for complaining. Okay. All right. So let's get into teachers that are just getting fed up. All right. This story I seen yesterday, a video is spreading across the internet of a teacher at Pontiac High School, this is in Michigan, using inappropriate language while yelling at her students.
All right. Is that what we doing? Okay. Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing? Because I got somebody for your mama. Because your mama can't compete where she don't compare. Say that.
And I'm going to say this.
Yes.
And she said, your mama can't compete where you can't compare. You got to hear what she said. This lady has been in education for a very long time. And people will say, well, maybe she should go find another job. Maybe she shouldn't be a teacher. Y'all, she's probably been in education for a good 10 to, I mean, not 10, but a good 5 to 6, maybe more years. Who wants to keep starting over? It's always, well, why don't she shouldn't be a teacher. She don't really like kids. Why don't you teach your child how to be a child and not let your child run over an adult in a classroom trying to teach? Because I can guarantee you when she started off there, she wasn't like this. Most teachers are not like this when they first start off.
The classroom, one of these non-students is calling his mama up here to meet my.
Nobody called
So
me.
I just want to make sure.
Bro,
we calling people to beat everybody.
Girl,
Because he's trying to take me back to
You
where I
know
came
this
from.
thing y'all
I left
say,
there
girl.
for a reason. He's sitting up there, I'm 53 years old. This
53 years old, I'm telling y'all, this lady's been in education for a very long time.
little peon is sitting up in here calling me a girl. Put your phone down. Don't put me on social media. Put your phone down. Don't put me on social media. If you bad, go ahead and say your name. Say it. Say it. Exactly. That's what I thought. All right. I'm gonna get off the phone because if he was that big and bad, he would say his name. So we're gonna continue the lesson now.
Bro, you can
Can we
look at my name.
continue the lesson now?
You
Can we
look at my
continue
name.
the lesson now? Yeah,
Bro, you
he
can look at my
didn't,
name.
he didn't say,
I don't
the
care
little
about
boy
that.
didn't say
I
his
don't care
name.
about
If
that.
he was
Bring
about
it
it
up
like
right
that,
now.
he would have said his name.
Bro, you sound. All I said was girl.
Sis, you sound
Like
sis.
mine.
Yeah, I would hit the kids with sis all the time, but I'm not your bro. I'm not your bruh, sis. And they would hate it. But I'm not your bruh. I'm not your bro. You talk to your parents like that at home. Don't talk to me like that.
You doing all that as a grown
Sis, you sound sis, y'all can take me up out of here. I don't care. I ain't dealing with these little boys. Call me right.
And so this is why you have teachers that are like this. It's not because they're not good teachers. It's not because she shouldn't be one or she hates kids. It's because she's tired. She has to babysit. She has to be a police officer. She has to be a teacher. She has to be a therapist. She has to sit in meetings if she don't get breaks during the school day because we don't get those. She has to do all these things. Then she also can't call home because the parents are answering the phone. Then the kid can call the mom and come up there and try to fight her, but you can't call home for the behavior problems because they're not going to answer the phone. She's tired. And she wants to probably retire, but she can't quit this job and retire. At this point, she's at the point where she's about to get fired because she can't take no more. And the school does not help. When you send them to the administration, they send them right back and tell them you got to learn classroom management. Well, what are you managing? Because you're not managing the teachers in the building. We're telling you what we need, and you sit in the office eating Waffle House, talking to the other APs in the building, pretending like y'all in meetings, and y'all want to walk around the building in probably a week or two in a group to try to tell us how to manage classroom that y'all not even going to sit in. The stress be there for real. All right, let's get into this one. Iowa teacher recounts student attacks, backs bill to remove disruptive students. And I do think that this should happen.
I've been hit, kicked, scratched, spit on.
There is absolutely.
And before she even starts to talking, I can tell you right now, I have been scratched. I mean, to the blood that's coming out of my hands from a student. I have been kicked. I've had to wrestle with a child. Kids be jumping on you. Like it'd be a lot. And these are little 4, like 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, and 9-year-olds. And they don't have no discipline at home. So because and when they go home after you done call the parent, they don't answer the phone, they'll say, call them. They ain't gonna do nothing. And they'll come back the next day after you done talk to them in the parking lot of the school. They ain't did to them. Nothing.
Absolutely No chance in hell I'm letting a child physically harm me in that way. I would quit. If this kid wasn't out of my class that day, I'd be out of there. Or I'd be calling this parent and getting fired for what I'm about to say to them.
Punched.
And you know, with some of the parents that we do have, that we had, I think by the time we left, because me and the guy I worked in the classroom with, because we had built that type of relationship with those parents, we could call them and say what we wanted to say, because they would know. By the time we got towards the middle of the school year, they like, listen, bro, I got you. Like, it turned around because we stayed consistent with calling them homes. We met them out in the parking lot. I mean, I will meet you every day if I got to meet you every day. Everybody's not equipped with that. And we also were new. I haven't been in education for 10 years like that. And mind you, I don't think I was on there full time for a year at this point. I wasn't there full, like as a pair. I was on there for like a year. Well, not even full year. I was there as a substitute a year before that. So I wasn't at my wit's end at that time. So I had a little bit more patience than these teachers that's been there for a very long time. And so that takes me to this next lady right here, who she talks about her incident at the school. And we're not going through a bunch of incidents with teachers, y'all. We're going through some more stuff too. But I want to start here so that y'all understand. We can start from where they're frustrated at and work our way down. All right. So then we get to here.
You guys are blowing me away with these. I teach in a public school. I had a student that threatened to unalive me. He was 4 years old. He went into specific details of how he was going to unalive me. Then he destroyed my room by throwing anything that wasn't secured to the room. I removed the child and took him to a de-escalation room in our building with our school's social worker. Later that day, after I debriefed the remaining students and the parents as best as I could about the situation, I received a visit from Early Education Administration Department. I was told I am never to remove a violent student from the room, nor write a threat assessment about the student. I am to give loving, comforting hugs, affirming, supportive words, shoulder rubs until the child calms down. Thank you for any advice. I'm calling my union rep ASAP.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
You know what? Fuck that shit. That's not in your job description, to be threatened by a child and have to deal with him destroying your room. That's how I feel about it.
And I can give y'all incidents of this happening at the school that I worked at. We had a student, they didn't let him go on a field trip that we went on. It's the first time that ever even happened. Because administration doesn't know how to deal with the kids because they always pushing back on us. When we went to, I forgot where we went on this field trip. We got back to the school. When I tell y'all, every third grade class was trashed. I mean, trashed. And at first we thought it was like a joke because it was like one classroom. But as we went to each classroom, we realized that this boy had tore up everything possible. You know, he ain't touched much. Everything though. Do you know that boy did not get suspended from school? They put him right back in the classroom after the field trip was over with. And we had to deal with him for the rest of the school day. Went outside, talked to his mother. And she said she won't keep him home the next day. But guess who was at school that next morning? Yeah. Yep. Shoulder rubs. Is this a massage parlor? But that's what they tell you. That's what they tell you. And you can't send them to administration because all they're going to do is the ones that we had, they'll walk them around the school building, give them popsicles, candy. One boy I remember, matter of fact, the one that I was telling them about that had behavior problems. This boy running all up and down the hallway, carrying papers. He's basically like doing work for the assistant principal and having a good, grand old time. I mean, just living it up. And at the end of the day, she brought him back for dismissal. Guess what he did? Tore up the classroom. That's what happens. And there's nothing you can do about it because our principal was very adamant about the fact that if she has to, she's going to choose the students over us. She never even faked that. She told us that all the time. If it comes down to it, I'm going to pick the student over you. Now, shout out to this woman talking Tia, because Tia be laying it all out, and I love watching her videos. Hold on. Where's it at? Okay, there we go. Yes, I love talking to you. She be laying it all the way out. What's going on, boo? I'm talking about our favorite subject. But I love her because she got out of education. Now she's an advocate for teachers, and she's really, really dope. If you guys get a chance to actually check her out on Instagram, it's Talking Tia, TALKINTIA. And she really be laying it out for real. But let's check out this video that she talked about. Here come the district, baby, because when a district come, everybody got to be on their P's and Q's. And the district they come in the classroom and write down stupid notes. It's like they just come in with you for real. And it's so bad that the students know it. The students know. I had a student in I love this boy to death. So they came into the classroom one time. And we like, y'all have to be on y'all's best behavior because the district is coming in here. And y'all, if y'all love us, y'all gotta do right. So the district comes in the classroom. The district comes in the classroom. They all stand in the back. They sit hello, everything. Oh, I love the bank. I love the store. And they bragging about the stuff that I created for the classroom, the shit that they didn't pay for. And this is one of our favorite classrooms. This is the most well-behaved class, and all the things they know how they manage the classroom very well. Mind y'all, the reason why we were able to do it is because there was 2 of us in that room. It was 2 of us. Most of the other third grade classes only had 1 teacher. So just so y'all know, that's why we were able to manage that classroom, because 1, I know how to de-escalate, and I also had a relationship with the kids because I was with them from 1st, 2nd, and then 3rd grade. So they knew not to with me for real. They would be like, just don't get on his nerves. Like, don't do it. All right, so let's get into Tia.
Okay, let's talk about it real quick. Let's make it make sense. The district always wants to show up to the school looking casket sharp, walking around the building looking like the women and men in black. The district walks around the building like they more important than the teachers and students in that very same building. Mm-hmm. And then the district wants to show up 7 deep to a teacher's classroom to do a classroom observation. Mm-hmm. And the only thing you have done is disrupted the learning environment, because now the students wants to know who you are and why you here. And I don't know how you, the district, can do a classroom observation on a teacher when you ain't never taught. And the ones who have taught have not been in the classroom in the last 10 years. And then you want to leave a list of everything that the teacher is doing wrong
and never was right
in the classroom. Well, how about you get up in here and do it? How about you show me? How about you be a teacher of teachers? If you say this is what works, get up right now in the classroom and show me exactly how it works. But it does not, because these list of things works for 1999 kids, but it does not work for COVID kids and beyond. I don't know who told the district that they are more important than the teachers and the students, but they need to get that idea out their head. Make it make sense. Okay.
And she is not lying, y'all. They really show up in the classroom like men in black. They stand in the back, like I said. Oh, I love the bank. We got the little cash register and everything. I'm handing out money to the kids when they answering questions, because that's normally how we work anyway. But I'm handing out money to the kids. They ask to go to the bathroom. They had to pay to go to the bathroom because that's the water bill. If you got to go to the bathroom in the class, you got to pay me $5 to go to the bathroom because that's the water bill. So they would pay the money to go. So they got to pay to use the bathroom. It's just to show them, like, leaving the classroom going to cost you your education. Right? And they couldn't do nothing with me with that one, because they're like, he ain't wrong with that, right? Every time you walk out of this classroom, you are losing a part of that education right there. So they was eating it up, right? So one of the kids, he goes, you teaching, Mr. Lake, you better do that thing. And I said, see, this is how you know they don't do this. Them kids, but they were so overprotective of us because they was like, this is the first stable classroom they had where the teachers weren't leaving. The teachers actually they cared about them. There was incentives in the classroom that they actually got. By the time them kids left our classroom, you would have thought those was our kids. I'm about to steal that from you. I can send you the full layout and everything about how to even do the whole platform if you want me to. But you would have thought that those were our natural born kids by the time they left us. They did not want to go home. They didn't want to go home. They wanted to stay with me and my co-teacher. They never wanted to go home. I'm like, no, we need a break. They're like, for a spring break. I'm saying, no. Going down to Florida, because that's where they always go for they break to Florida. Orlando. They'll never go to Miami, Orlando or Tampa. I'm like, child, thank God y'all ain't in Miami, because that's where I'll be at for the spring break. You know what I'm saying? They never want to go home, but we had such a cohesive classroom, and we struggled so hard to have that. And they would try to come in and change things. We're not changing. I love my little brother because they'd be like, we don't argue with kids. He's like, no, we do argue with kids. We do. But that's why our classroom is the way that it is, because we will argue with them. And then when they got to make that time back, however long we argue, is how long it's going to take for you to either miss on this field trip that we're going on, or however long it's going to take for you to miss out on that recess that you want to go on. You make it make some sense. Or if you want to go to lunchtime, you're going to have that much time that we had to argue, 5 minutes up, 5 minutes of silent lunch. Because it has to be a give and take. But you know who didn't listen to that? The school. The school didn't. So, I mean, they ran the school how they wanted to, but they didn't have the experience that we had. And when I tell you, at the end of that school year, we were stressed out. But we did the best that we could possibly do in the environment that we were in. And I was so happy that we had that experience together, because we made long-lasting and forever impressions on these kids. These kids, if I go to the school today, them kids are going. I'll be thinking I'm Beyonce walking in the building, because the kids will jump up and start screaming and hollering and jumping all over me and all kind of things. Those kids love me to death. Some of them, their parents, I still talk to till this day. And if they're getting in trouble at school, they will call me, and I don't even work there no more. Can you talk to so and so, because they acting a fool? And they be like, don't have me call Mr. Lay. Don't have me call them. And they'll straighten up real quick. I haven't had a phone call in over half of the school year at this point, because they knew because I would show up. Don't make me come up there when I'm off of work. They know he don't play. Okay. But I love the fact they have respect for me in that type of way. But it's because I built those relationships, and I had an opportunity to do that because I wasn't the main teacher. I wasn't the lead teacher. Lead teachers don't really have the opportunity like that, because they have 30 other kids, but they have these behavioral problems. So they don't never get a chance to really connect with a lot of the kids, because half the time they're working with the behaviors. I think it's unfair. And I don't understand why they don't have two teacher classrooms. I think it should be a standard. All right, let's move over here to this. I don't know what the lady talking about, but let's see, because I pulled it up for something, but I don't remember what it was for.
To do when they're all gone. Watch this.
Oh, this is about teachers leaving education.
I ultimately decided to leave because I realized I needed an easier job.
No matter what I try to do, it won't go through their heads.
I called a parent today and I said, just to let you know, your child has an F in my class because they come in and they don't do anything. And then they start screaming. She hung up.
Buddy, why'd you struggle on this quiz? What was hard about it? What was difficult? And they look me dead in my eyes and they say, I'll be honest, I didn't read the passage. What do you mean you didn't read the passage?
School districts are trying to run like...
And it's probably because they couldn't read the passage. Let's be all the way honest. It's probably because they couldn't read it, because all they do is just pass them along. Like I said, I don't know what grade he taught, but I had a third grader who couldn't read or write. Couldn't do math, nothing. And I watched him sit at a computer. for a year and a half and look at a computer screen. And I thought, I don't even know what I thought, but I mean, it wasn't my business because I wasn't the teacher. I was a substitute. But when I got him, it was my business then.
Companies with the numbers, and it's not the science of education.
Today I walked out of my job. I did.
I have 2 hours left of my school day and I'm leaving because I'm so stressed out. The students' behavior, their lack of trying, their apathy for school, parents that don't give a shit.
I was getting so many questions after I just explained my directions.
Take out your yellow notebooks, turn to page 14, and the kids just stare.
They're crying because they're getting blamed for literally any and everything that children are doing.
I spend 90% of my day managing kids' emotions, helping to regulate them, managing outbursts and behaviors and tantrums.
I spend so much time managing behavior that sometimes I feel like I'm failing as an educator. I feel like I'm not doing the job that I was hired to do.
That was a 1 hour rabbit hole that I went down watching these videos and just feeling my heart rate go up. And I get DMs and emails from teachers all the time saying, do you have any words of wisdom? I've always wanted to be a teacher, but this job is not sustainable. Here's what my administration did. What should I do? I called home and this was the reaction I got from a parent. What should I do? I did X, Y, and Z in my class and none of the kids were paying attention. What should I do? I don't know. I try to give the best advice I can. All of the stopgaps in place to amend this behavior and this cycle are gone. And it's being put on the teachers. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do when more and more teachers are added to this ever-growing teacher shortage crisis? Mm-hmm. During COVID, teachers were heroes. You all saw what it was like. Oh my God, how could you do that? I couldn't do that day after day. Do you want to homeschool? Do you want your kids to go to schools that don't have certified teachers? Mm-hmm. Or do we want to encourage the best and the brightest to get their teaching certification, to get that education, to teach your children to the best of their ability? What do you want? If you want something, administrators, parents, anybody who's involved in a school, you have to act on this or it will all be gone.
And that's where we're on the road to. That it's almost always gone. Teachers are quitting. They are tired. They are exhausted because every year you get more and more responsibilities and less support. What's going on, Tracy? What's going on, Tracy? What's going on to Shannon? This youth not being able to read in 2026 is crazy. And we've been saying it and saying it and saying it and calling home. We've been sending to the apps. We've been sending through emails. We've been sending through smoke signals. We say it to you in the parking lot. We picking up your kid. We say it through the report cards. We say it through everything. And guess what? At the end of school year, they'd be like, well, why didn't nobody call me? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? I'll tell y'all how I quit. So my last year, y'all, I worked in intervention because they moved me to intervention because I was a parent, like I told you guys. But the boy that I was working with, he was in a hospital all of last year. He was there pretty much right before Christmas up until like the end of the school year. So because I had worked with him so well, they thought that I would be able to help with the kids in intervention. So they moved me over to intervention. And then slightly they tried to make me a substitute as well. But I was like, I'm not doing no substitute work. And I had to fight for that. So the lady that me and her were so cool, like when she first got to the school, because I was there before. I was there first grade, second grade she came in. And me and her, we were really cool. Everything I needed from anybody at the school as a substitute, she got it for me as I was a teacher in the building. Third grade year, I wasn't working with her, but she was so my second grade year, she wasn't my manager. I was a substitute in the classroom that she was in. Third grade year, she was my manager, and I never really seen her. You know what I'm saying? Like what I was doing, she couldn't really help me do it because she didn't work with this boy and she didn't I'm like, I'm not scaffolding shit. Like, he can't do third grade work. He can't even do kindergarten work. He probably couldn't even do pre-K work at the time. So I'm not scaffolding shit. And I didn't say it like that, but in my mind, I knew that I wasn't. Yeah, I would print out the packets that the kids were doing in the classroom. When he was in the classroom, we were doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We writing the letters down. We writing sentences. We doing all the things that he should learn from pre-K to kindergarten up to first grade. I'm not doing what you tell me to do because it doesn't make any sense. And I would rather get in trouble for doing what's right than doing what y'all want me to do that don't make no damn sense. But my fourth grade year, I don't know if she realized what I did third grade year and going into fourth grade year, when he wasn't there, they come around testing time. They got all these extra meetings in the morning time for the teachers. Now, first of all, I'm not a teacher. I work in intervention. And they had these meetings on how to run the testing room. I don't run any testing rooms. So why would I be at any meetings? And so I went and talked to my AP, and she's like, well, there's nothing for me to be in there. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going. So she went to my assistant principal and told her that she told me that she wanted me to go to these meetings for whatever reason. I don't know what the reasoning was. And she tried to put me in a room with her so she could see if I was going to be there or not. But I'm not coming. For what? There was no reason for me to be in here. They want to give you all this extra work because when these kids come in, I got first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade intervention. Well, actually, I worked second and third grade for first grade and second grade for intervention. I don't do no testing, so why would I be in these rooms? So every time she go to my AP, I go back to my AP. Do y'all know? This lady was writing me up every single time, but I never knew I was getting written up. But something told me when they started talking, when that man got into office, something told me to go ahead and start applying for other jobs because I'm like, they're gonna shut this school down because it's this is the last school that had opened. And we have all the IEPs and the 504 kids. Our scores are super low. So I magically applied for this job, y'all. When I tell you, they emailed me back like the next day. This was around spring break. And they tried to have a meeting with me before the Friday of spring break after school. And I'm like, it's Friday, it's spring break, and y'all want me to stay after school? Oh, no, I see y'all when we get back on that Monday. But mind y'all, I had to go to my interview after work. So I went to my interview after work. Spring break was over with, and I went into the office. I said, "Hey, did y'all still want to meet?" And they were like, "Yeah, we're going to reschedule it. Just we'll email you or whatever." So I said, "Cool." So I went about my day. Maybe 2 weeks went on, and they finally scheduled it again on a Friday. And I would ride home with one of my coworkers at the time too. Well, y'all, I went onto that good old ChatGPT. The week before this, wrote my resignation letter, and I had my coworker proofread it for me, make sure everything looked good. She said, "Why you eat them up like that?" I said, "Well, isn't this true?" When I tell you that letter was, it ate them up. So I sat in this meeting with my principal and my assistant principal, and I love both of them, by the way. They were very dope people. It was just that manager lady that really, I don't know what she was on. But I saw her go to this meeting, and they like, first of all, we'll let you know you do an amazing job here. We know all the kids love you. You do, we just love how you help all the kids and blah, 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 yada, yada. I'm like, let's get to the point because what's going on? Y'all set me up for something. So they're like, we just want you to read over these papers and then let us know if you have any questions. And so I'm like, well, this is like stuff I already came to y'all about. So I'm like, what is this? And they're like, well, so-and-so wrote you up. It's 6 write-ups, y'all. I had no verbal warning, no nothing. All these things I have that they showing me, I got all at one time. First of all, you can't even do that. And so they asked me, it was like, what is your plan for next year? Because they kept asking me throughout the year. And I'm like, I don't really know what I want to do yet because I was like, I don't see a purpose here. I mean, the boy I'm working with, he's in the hospital all year. I work in intervention, but it seems like every time I work in intervention, she pulls me to do substitute stuff when they have substitutes in the building. And it's like, there's a power struggle here and I'm not really feeling it like that. And I'm like, so let me understand. If we can work out what's going on with her, then maybe I'll stay. But if not, then no. So when I went to this meeting, y'all, the next day after that, I was leaving to go to my new job. So I read the things. I was like, well, everything that's on here, I've already met with the principal and the assistant principal with, so I'm not understanding what the write-ups are about. And they're like, well, yeah, but we just have to make sure that you acknowledge the fact. I said, I've already acknowledged it because I came and met with you about it before I got this. So I'm not understanding. And they're like, well, I mean, you do have to go. I said, well, I talked to you about this. You told me I have to go. And so she was like, well, they were like, well, I mean, we just have to have you sign it saying that it's a verbal conversation. You're not in trouble. I'm like, I am if I sign it, and I'm not going to sign it. And they were like, well, let's revisit that, at another meeting, because I mean, we do understand why. And they were like, what is your plans for next year? And I said, to be honest, today's my last day. Today's my last day. I'm actually starting my new job tomorrow. So yeah, no, this was Friday. I start my new job on Monday. So yeah, this is it for me. When I tell you, jaws drop on the floor because y'all had something really good and y'all did up. Ain't my fault. So, and they were shocked. Like, oh, I wasn't expecting to hear this. You sure wasn't? I wasn't expecting to go sit in a meeting with 6 writers that I never heard about either. So, I mean, there's that. Many hats and underpaid. Nope, I'm not coming. And underpaid. Okay. Not you gave them a, oh, yes, I did. Reverse, boo. And a draw 4. When I tell you the whole school went up, it was like, you ate that. You ate that. I said, oh, sure, fuck the. Because ain't no way y'all finna sit here and give me 6 writers from this lady who don't even do shit. I do her job. While she's hiding in every damn room in the building, instead of doing work, what do she do? She don't even do shit. So no, y'all can take this shit and shove it. But yeah, that's my story, like the mother story y'all just heard. But let's move over here to our next thing. So I want to get into iPad kids, because this is another big problem that we do have. And I really hope this hits somebody, touch somebody down in your soul. Because we got to get these kids away from these screens. iPhones, iPads, Androids, tablets, whatever it is. Screen time should be no time. I don't feel like kids should even have screens until they are in like freaking high school, to be honest. Our kids, so the only reason why our kids down in primary had phones was to record fights and have text message threads with each other. And it all started fights and shit. So like, why do they even need that? No. If y'all want to call, we got the teachers got phones, but to me, this takes away from why the kids don't come and talk to the teachers, because they can call home. We wouldn't know what was going on had the kid have to come and talk to us. But guess what they texted? Mom, so and so looked at me wrong. So now mom is in the parking lot wondering why so and so is getting looked at wrong, and we don't even know. Y'all taking out the middle person, but then we're supposed to be doing this job that we can't do because you taking control over our damn job, and then mad at us, so we ain't doing it. Make it make sense. All right, let's get into this iPad kids.
One thing you can't call him though is a liar, because he ain't lying.
What happens when an entire generation is raised on screen? We're finding that out right now.
Nope. No! Stop it!
Called iPad kids, and the future doesn't look good. Right across the Western world, more and more children are being pacified with tablets and phones. For parents, it's easy. Hand them a screen, the tantrums stop. But that short-term peace comes with a long-term cost you should be aware of. These kids are developing dependency.
And they really are. The kids, even when they're in the classroom, they're like, you're like, we had a program called Lexia. Get on Lexia. Did you say get on Games for Now? How did you hear that? How did you hear Games for Now when we said, like, well, can we get on Games for Now? No, you can get on what we told. Matter of fact, pull out a book. How about that? because Lexi has a reading program. Pull out a book and read, and then do a book report. Oh, when I made them do book reports, oh, you would have thought I cussed their mama out.
You try and take that device away, they will melt down. And it's not just crankiness, it's withdrawal. This is an addiction. Even Steve Jobs, the man behind Apple, famously said that he had limited his kids' use of iPads. He knew the risks. And today we're seeing exactly why he was being so cautious. Multiple studies show that heavy screen time in children is linked to higher rates of anxiety, attention problems, and reduced emotional regulation. Kids glued to devices struggle more with patience, boredom, and basic coping skills. Their brains are getting wired for instant gratification. Dopamine hits from flashing colors and endless scrolling. Real life seems slow, dull, and even unbearable in comparison. But the damage does not stop there. These children are missing out on the building blocks of a real-world experience. Running through the grass, climbing trees, discovering bugs, learning how to socialize face-to-face. Instead of learning how to handle conflict, make friends, or explore their surroundings, they're trapped in digital loops of cartoons, games, and apps designed to keep them hooked. These iPads are a drug for these children.
And I think about that too when he's talking about how they are stuck on these iPhones, these iPads, and their thoughts are about cartoon characters. That's why they're so they don't know the seriousness of like making jokes about death and things like that. That's why they can come to school and say, I will pow you and things like this, because they're watching these things. They think this is real reaction that people have in real time because they're watching it on these screens instead of going to school and talking to people in real life and saying that when you have interaction, this is not how this really happens. Y'all argue, y'all might fight, y'all might tussle or whatever, but it ain't to the death of one another. And you don't come back to life after that even happens. But those screens teach them that real life, what you would know that that's not how that works.
And teachers have noticed the drastic change. Far shorter attention spans, more frustration in classrooms.
These kids have so much screen time, their brains don't work. Like, talk about the iPad stare. This is them 24/7.
Less curiosity, less creativity. Kids who can swipe before they can speak, but can't sit still for more than 5 minutes. And the hard truth behind it all is many parents have become dependent too. The iPad has become the babysitter, a substitute for human engagement, an easy way to calm your child down. And while it may buy some quiet time at home, it robs children of the very skills they'll need to function as adults. It's a generation.
That baby having an iPad is insane to me.
That's less resilient, less social, and less connected to the real world. A generation raised by algorithms instead of parents. And if nothing changes, we're looking at a future where the basics of patience, focus, and real-world interaction are rare skills, while digital dependency is the normal. Childhood is meant to be lived. The real question now is, are we going to wake up before it's far too late?
One thing you can't call him, though, is a liar, because he ain't lying.
And this is really true. Like, I mean, if you just think about the mentality of these kids, it's scary. This is why you see these kids unaliving their parents, their own family members, from taking these iPads, and they can't function without them. Even some of my dance students cannot stand still. Shit, that's crazy. They at a dance class. My kids can stand still to save their life. They got to stand on top of the desk, underneath the desk, on the chairs, behind the chairs, flip upside down on the chairs. They got to sit on stools that rock back and forth like this. They got to do everything besides sit still and learn. Like, it's so much. I got to take the kids on a walk around the building just because they can't sit still. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. I think about, back when we were in school, when computers were just coming out, we only had a computer for like number munchers, Oregon Trail. I don't even think we did anything else besides those two things on a computer until like later on. But when they first came out, we had a computer lab. It was number munchers or Oregon Trail. Man, I miss Oregon Trail. That was such a fun game. And you never want to name the people your friends because the people would be dying. But that, and then number munchers was such a good game because it taught. A matter of fact, what? I actually pulled up number munchers for one of my kids at the school. You had to pay for it. But I pulled up number bunches for one of my kids at the school. He loved that game. But and it actually helped him with his math too. It is a babysitter. The autism and nonverbal students can spell nothing, but they know how to pull up YouTube and websites they want to go to. Even my kid, he know how to pull up YouTube Kids, and he will figure out how to do the math problem. And if he can't figure it out, he'll have somebody else do the math problem for him to get into the YouTube, because you got to do like a math problem in order to get on there. But that's how I learned. He knew how to do some type of math, because I'm like, now how the hell did you get on YouTube Kids? So yeah, he figured that shit out, but they did nothing else. All right. Now we got this next report saying that Gen Z, the first generation, officially dubbed dumber than the last. Let's get into this.
Up to the first generation dumber than the one before. And of course, people are on Twitter blaming teachers and teachers unions. So let's have a real conversation about why kids.
It's crazy that that's where they go to, teachers and teachers unions, baby, not the parents. Not the parents. What about it's the parents, it's the administration, and it's let's just do the parents and the administration. The people who should not be getting blamed for that is the ones who got to take the blame for it. And even that, it's like, so you got to be the police officer, the teacher, the therapist, the doctor, and now you got to get blamed for all the shit if it don't work. That is wild to me. Why did I just tell my students the same thing today? We didn't have computers, just got in once a week. I'm telling you, number munchers and order controls, all we had. And I think number munchers, they put the kids on there just to learn the basic math and took them off. I remember when they used to have to put the little the black thing over top of the keyboard so you can learn home row. Kids now, you put them on typing.com, they still, I'm like, y'all don't see on the screen where they have your all the fingers up here. I know, but I'm like, you're not gonna get no good job typing with one finger. You got to type a little bit faster. But we type with our thumbs when we're on the phone. They ain't lying. They ain't lying. Yeah.
Are done now. It's because most of you are terrible parents and terrible voters. Let's start with the voting part. Time and time again, you people elect government officials that do not care to fund public education, something most of you are sending your kids to, that do not care to ensure there are enough teachers per classroom, enough supplies per classroom, accessible breakfast and lunch for kids in those classrooms, and enough resources for kids in those classrooms.
Child, don't ask for no lunch. Don't ask for no lunch. We had a big problem in our school with lunch because there's not enough lunch. It's enough lunch for the kids at our school because they hate it. I had the boy, I've been telling you, I'm gonna probably tell all my story about him. The one with the behavior problems, he ain't want nothing but a sandwich from that school because he didn't like none of the food because there was no seasoning on it. It was healthy choice stuff, and it was just nasty. And then y'all, they had the nerve to try to charge us for that shit. I'm like, are you kidding me? I gotta recook the damn food after I get it.
Classrooms. You elect government officials that do not permit school choice, meaning kids who live in poorer neighborhoods cannot choose to go to a better funded school in a different zip code. You elect government officials who do not see a point in paying teachers a salary that not only aligns with how much work they do, putting up with your horribly behaved children every day, but a salary that prevents them from having to work second jobs, leading to burnout. They're paid significantly less than similarly educated professionals. Not exactly an environment that fuels success, and you people vote for it time and time again. Now for the parenting part, most of you refuse to participate in any aspect of your children's education. You list every excuse in the book not to.
Y'all, this part right here, it hits home for me.
You literally get on here and say it's not your job to help your toddler learn to read. You let your kids scroll social media all day, frying their brains with Roblox and short form content. You don't teach them that respect and manners are important, so they're disrespectful to figures of authority and others. And when teachers try to communicate with you about your children's struggles, failings, and misbehavior, instead of correcting your kid, you go and argue with the teacher. If you want to see Olympic level dodging of accountability, talk to a parent about their children. They will blame everything in the universe for how terribly their kids have turned out besides themselves. No, teachers aren't the reason your kids are fucking stupid. You are. Gen Z.
Oh, wow. I mean, that was harsh, but she ain't lying. I'm going to tell y'all this story, too. I got lots of stories, y'all, by the way. So I had a girl in my classroom. I mean, terrorized the classroom. Her and one of the other girls in the classroom, they did not get along very well. Grade-wise, like they weren't that bad. They were just behavioral problems. And so we were always very adamant at the school, don't send your kids to school with snacks because we provide the snacks for the kids. And if they can't have them, let us know what the dietary restrictions are so that we can, provide whatever it is that they can have. This girl, y'all, she would bring a whole family pack of Takis to school. And we done told the grandmother, the mother, the daddy, the grandfather, the big brother, the big sister, stop sending this girl to school with these chips. If you send them to the school with these chips, they will go in the trash or be back in her book bag if she eats them. If we catch them out, we have to throw them away. Why not throw them chips in the trash, y'all? Throw them in the trash. And normally, who you see is either the grandmother or the mother. You know who came to meet me? Person I never seen a day in my life. And I've been at this for 3 damn years. But the daddy shows up. And my what does she call? My GLC, she a grade level chair, y'all know what that means. She went upstairs because she was like, yeah, someone's here to see, they were here to see me. And she was like, for what? She was like, something about him throwing some chips. And she was like, well, I mean, it's in the handbook. We've spoken to him about it, so I'm not understanding. She was like, I don't want you to go up there because I want you to re-argue. I said, I'm not going to argue. And she's like, well, let me go up there and try to handle it first. So by the time it was time for me to go, this man's still sitting upstairs waiting on me. And I don't know if he thought I was some little old man or some little like feminine guy or some little weak person or something. But I walked up my big ass self and I'm like, why are we still having this conversation? And he's like, well, yeah, I want to talk to the man. I want to talk to the man. I'm like, her job is to talk to you, not me. And I said, if you have any issues about the chips, I mean, it's in the paperwork. Did you read the paperwork about the snacks? And he was like, well, I mean, her grandmother. I said, well, then you need to talk to her grandmother about the paperwork and also the phone calls that we have called. I said, I mean, I don't understand. Like, why are we still up here arguing about this stuff? And he was like, well, I mean, I just want to talk to you. And I said, well, the issue is your daughter came to school, and not even a little bag of Takis. She came to school with a family-sized bag of Takis, and she's sharing them with the entire classroom. And you don't know what these kids' dietary restrictions are. So if something happens to one of these kids with these Takis in his classroom, guess who gets in trouble? Not you, not her mama, not her grandmother, not her daddy, but we do. So what I did was I threw them in the trash because the first time that I took them, I put them in her book bag, so I don't bring them back to school. I called her grandmother. I talked to her mother outside the car and her sister and told them the same thing. She still brought them to school. So in order for us to understand what's really going on here, I threw them in the trash. Is there anything else? And he was like, well, I mean, I just don't feel like you treat my daughter like this. I said, I'm not treating your daughter like anything. I'm treating your daughter the same way I treat everybody else, because if she brings these chips to school, then guess what? The rest of the kids can. And a lot of these kids can't have this much sodium. That's why their lunch, it's like you come to lunch one day so you can taste how to eat what the lunch tastes like. All that salt in there and all that red dye in there, we don't have that in the school because we're not allowed to. I said, but since you're here, let me ask you about this. So we just called you last week because your daughter wrote bitch in the bathroom, on the bathroom stall. And I know, you know how we know it was her? Because we asked all the kids in the room to spell bitch and they all spelled it right besides her. How about that? He was like, well, I didn't, nobody called me. I said, well, they called you about chips? Let's be all the way real. You came to school about chips, but your daughter writing bitch, you can't even spell it right. We want to have a conversation. Let's talk about that. Baby, that man got there so damn fast. I'm 6 foot. 5'11", 6 foot, one or the other. I say 5'11", but they say I'm 6 foot. I don't know. That pisses me off when parents do that. Kids don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you're going to give her a little bag of chips for lunch, like, that's cool. But she got a family size. Everybody got blue and red fingers and shit in the classroom. We got to clean it up. And again, some of these kids can't have that shit. The boy I work with, if he would have got a hold of them chips, it would have been a wrap. But all they're thinking about is his daughter. And sir, we've been calling you all the school year. You come around with a bag of damn chips. Well, I'll just borrow some more. You should have borrowed some more and I brought your ass in this school building if that's what if for some damn chips and brought your ass in when she was writing that Brooklyn was the bitch on the bathroom stall and spelling the BITCHE. Let's be all the way real. That's a different story for a different day. So, I got upset again. Your parents are coming up to the school for crazy stuff, but never for the shit you want them to come up there for. Oh, God. Okay. Let me get back to this, y'all. And it even goes, so I'm glad I got this part up next. And I showed you guys one of these videos the other day. But y'all, I laughed at this the other day, but this is really how these kids be sounding in a classroom. And I want y'all to watch it. And y'all might be laughing at this, but this is how these kids sound in the classroom.
Tornado drill is
Bro, we're actually cooked, chat. Chat, we're cooked. Wait, is the tornado in the building?
Yo, Shannon, when I tell you, it was so funny because we're like, well, we know they all can't spell. Now, the fact that they all could spell it the right way, besides one person, I mean, when I tell you that we all, me, my GLC, and my little brother, when we shut that door, we died. Because the whole class spelled it the right way besides that one girl. I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. You can't make it up.
I'm not trying to get on this dirty floor. Bro, what if the principal start flying? My balls gonna fly away. Are we underground? Oh my God, you gonna call our mamas? Because Bro, if the tornado destroy the school, we ain't got no homework. Boom! Bro, this is like a movie. The tornado gonna take my edges. Do we still have lunch after this?
Or what time is lunch after this? And let me tell y'all something. These kids during these drills, baby, let me tell you something. If a active power pop up in that school building, it's a wrap. Because they think everything is funny. When we doing these drills, and mind y'all, we've had fire drills where it was actually like it could have been a real fire in the building because the people in the cafeteria staff was always burning up shit in the building. And so we have a fire drill after fire drill after fire drill. The kids, as soon as the thing goes off, they darting out the door, pushing kids over, acting like they ain't got no damn sense. And like you sitting like, we've practiced this so many damn times. I would be like, bruh, all the shit that y'all got going on. They don't take nothing serious. They don't take shit serious. And here I go. Voicemail. Come get your kid, please, because it's a fire at the school. You think they call back? No. And did I lie? It was one, but they ain't call back. The school wasn't on fire, but it was a fire at the school. Kids acting a damn fool during the fire drill, tornado drill, active pound drill, like all that. They don't be giving a damn. They play too much, and you got these kids that have these disabilities, pushing them over wheelchairs, walkers, all kinds of. They pushing them over and playing around, and you can't count them because they in somebody else's line, and it's like chaos. That shit comes from home. It don't come from here. By the end of the third grade year, my kids walked outside like they was in the military. Because I don't play that. All right. So, again, because if they call back, I ain't gonna answer the phone. We all dead. So, sorry, you missed it. Catch them next lifetime. And if I would have gotten in trouble for it, oh well, I already tried to call them. I'm busy now. Your kids having a behavior problem, can't answer the phone. That okay. So now this lady about to watch now. Listen, I ain't gonna play with her. I mean, she about to give y'all a whole bunch of different advice. I'm not gonna play it. Y'all can go to her page after this is over if y'all want to hear her whole dissertation about how to deal with children with behavior problems. But this is what y'all deal with people, what these kids at home deal with. And then y'all want us to deal with this at school without any kind of disciplinary actions. Let's watch it and then we'll talk about it.
You want me to take your iPad away?
No!
Okay, well, it's time for bed.
No! Not going to bed! No!
Come on.
I'm not ready to go to bed.
Come on, I gave you an extra hour.
I said, no, it's not time for bed. Chill out. It's 9 o'clock. I am 12 years old. Stop treating me like a baby.
Let's
I'm
go.
not going to bed. We're not going to bed. Can you hear her?
Let's
no!
go.
We're not going to bed. No! What do you not understand?
Okay, fine. You can have 1 more hour.
You go to bed. Yeah, you go to bed. Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone sees different.
Yeah, now y'all can go to watch what she's gonna say. I don't really give a damn about that part. I'm pulling up because this is what people at the parents do at home, and then when they get to their kid get to school, then because we can't whoop that ass, we can't do all the things that should be done. I'll give you an extra hour. I'm gonna give you the first ass whooping, and if you don't take your ass to bed from then, I'm gonna give you an extra ass whooping after that one. Because what you mean no? And this is why the kids don't understand no at school, because they don't be told no at home. The first time that iPad got slammed on that damn couch, the iPad would have been put in the box and in the trash can outside. You would have never seen that shit again. There's no consequences. And so this is what happens at school, because y'all literally, they give the kids laptops at school. I'm not even kidding you. This is how much they don't even value the shit that they give them at school. You have the desk that you lift up the top. The kids will leave the laptop on the top of the desk, flip it open, laptop them busted up on the damn floor. Oh, my bad. You give them another one. Same shit. Boom, on the floor, broke. They don't even value the shit that y'all give them. I wish I would have got a damn laptop at school. A tablet or something. I would have guarded that with my heart, with my life. These kids don't give a damn. Because they do this shit at home. They slam it on the couch at home, throwing it across the room, getting mad at mom because it's time to go to bed, sneaking it underneath the thing. All these things, and there's no consequences. Then y'all send them to school, and guess who got to deal with now they got consequences, but when they at home, they don't have none, so they don't have to listen to us. And so now you got people on social media peeping game. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna pull this young lady up. I would go, listen, give me a free laptop. Give me a free laptop, baby. I will return it like I just got it. It would be brand new. They give us laptops at the school, and I returned it like it was brand new. But this girl right here, and I got another one after this one, these new age parents get on my last nerves. And she said, I'm going to say something and don't get mad. And this, I love her for saying this.
I'm going to say something. Don't get mad. Don't get mad.
She's in fact going to say something. And if you disagree with this take, you are part of the problem. Viewer discretion is advised.
Everyone's always saying, oh, the kids are lost. Like the kids don't know how to read. They don't know how to write. They're so disrespectful. They have no social skills. They're just iPad kids times 1,000. Like, it's so bad. It's so awful. Yeah, because the Hot Cheeto girls became parents first.
Ooh. Not the Hot Cheeto girls.
The boys that were sitting in the back of the classroom drawing on their desk, just making jokes 24/7, they became parents first.
Ooh.
What did you expect was going to happen when the worst people you went to school with started popping out babies?
That is a literal definition of the quiet part out loud.
Mhm.
Because this is something I've thought about for quite some time. I don't know why I haven't said it or made a video on it, but when I saw this video, I was like, bro, she couldn't be more spot on. But I'll take it a step further. The ones that spent all their time in the same classroom in high school are also having babies as well. They all got social media accounts. Some of them even work with us normally. After they graduated high school, they just pushed them out into society and said, well, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And they have full autonomy over themselves. No caretakers, nobody to guide them in the right direction, nothing. They're just out here living like the rest of us are. So not only are we dealing with these unfit individuals, technology and social media validates their behavior. There's been too many times I've got on here and seen people do some of the most outlandish shit, and you will go in the comments and find people that agree with them.
Agree with the shit, like, oh my God. That be the shit that kills me. Y'all, I literally was just sitting in, whose chat was this? I want to say, Jamie, that's me. And literally, this has nothing to do with education, but literally, no, it wasn't Jamie. It was T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison. I was sitting in T.S. Madison's chat today. T.S. Madison pulled up every motherfucking receipt she could pull about the DL Whisperer. And I mean, to the point where there was nothing you could really even say. And you know what the comment that she pulled up was at the end of after she showed all this proof? You started with him. Like, you have to be kidding me. I sat and watched the Carlos King thing with Royce yesterday. People in the chat, Royce need to shut her ass up. Royce don't know what she's talking about. Royce don't know what the fuck she's doing. Royce is her problem. I always hated Royce. I'm like, are you not listening to what she's saying? She been saying the same shit. What is wrong? It blows my freaking mind.
And if they don't agree with them, they're defending them to whatever degree that is. I'm on record saying we should bring back bullying, we should bring back shaming, because honestly, that's probably the only thing that can deter people from doing some stupid shit, especially online. And every time I've ever had to say that is because I'm seeing some of the most wild shit online. And the thing about it is, for example, if you see a parent doing something wild with their kid, I can guarantee you in almost every single video, you'll find at least one person say, oh, y'all doing too much. That's their child. Let them be. Meanwhile, that same kid is taking on the same temperament and same behavioral traits as their parent that was unfit this whole time. Teachers are fed the fuck up with some of y'all kids. A lot of these parents are so unfit, and it's crazy to see. And they're going to continue to be unfit because they got a place like social media to come here and feel safe to some degree. To know that they have a community of people that will support their bullshit ass behavior. And if you ask me, it's going to take us to step up to protect them teachers and them children. Start calling these parents out on their bullshit, despite if you have kids or not. Your opinion matters. Bring back shame in a worse way, especially for people that believe that they don't have to raise their kids at home. They believe that the school system is supposed to raise their kids. And I know I have no true influence over the women, but fellas, please stop procreating with women that are not fit to be mothers. Stop procreating if you're not fit to be a father as well. This is not helping us. It's making this fucking time on earth unbearable. But knowing a lot of y'all ain't gonna listen to shit I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep it changing.
And just to think these are going to be like our next doctors and lawyers. And if AI don't take over the shit, and then good luck for all of us, because who God knows what that shit's gonna look like. They got Waymo still driving down the wrong side of the street. Grok from Twitter is in trouble because they're showing up child pornography when you asking the damn questions. And the kids are using this shit to answer questions. Like, where are the parents that need to hear this shit? And I hate to even pull this shit up, but I'm gonna pull it up. I was not even gonna pull it up. But even this story right here has nothing to do with no education, but this boy is 12 years old. And for some reason, something was happening at home, or they saw something that these people decided, these little boys decided to put rocks in a little girl's freaking mouth and SA her. And now here come the parents.
12-year-old boy we're talking about. We're going to leave him in jail and put a life charge on a young man, a young black man that was visiting Miami It was with the wrong 2 kids.
Marvin Jones.
How did he get with the wrong 2 motherfucking kids? He was visiting Miami. Who was he visiting? And why did he think it was okay to shove rocks in a little girl's freaking mouth and then SA her?
His son Josiah is charged with battery and false imprisonment, charges related to the rape of a 12-year-old girl. A police report says the victim says his son Josiah held her down and put rocks in her mouth to stop her from screaming for help.
This is a 12-year-old.
He needs to go to motherfucking jail. And he tried as a damn adult. Putting rocks in a little girl's mouth? Like, who taught you that shit?
A very disturbing safety alert.
A group of boys are accused of taking a young girl to an abandoned lot and one of them raping her in the Overtown community. A 13-year-old Nelson Nunez, as well as 12-year-old Josiah Jones, are being charged as an adult. That's why we can show their faces. Miami police say they forced this young victim into an abandoned lot and not only held her down, but they put rocks in her mouth to muffle her screams as Nunez raped her. Both boys now faced a judge today. Earlier, they were both denied bond. Both are facing charges of sexual battery and false imprisonment. Nunez is also facing an additional kidnapping charge. There was a 15-year-old involved as well, also arrested in this case, but he is being charged as a juvenile.
Shit is crazy. It's wild. But this is what happens when y'all don't do shit with your damn kids at home. Now you're going to blame that on the school. What's going on, Miss Wilson? So thank you. I don't know if you saw my comment on your post the other day, but thank you for sending me that stuff on TikTok the other day. And I did show if you didn't get a chance to see it. This story pissed me off all the way. Yeah, like what are y'all doing? And then I can't find the video of his mother because I wish I could find the video of his mom. And I had it up. I thought I emailed it to myself, but I didn't see it in my email when I started pulling these stories up. Hold on. Wait a minute. I think it did show up now. I don't know why emails are coming in so late. It ain't this one, but I think it's this one. Yep, bam, here we go. Here go the boy's mom. Here go the boy's mom. Or I'm sorry, the aunt of one of the boys.
Spanish Honduran, he don't give a fuck. He's savage. So he like, shit, you been talking about you wanted to do this to me. You finna, do me like this. So I guess he got aggressive with her, and she was like, oh, no, I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna sleep with all of y'all.
You guess he got aggressive with her? They shoved rocks in her mouth, you dumb.
I'm only sleeping with him. So I guess whatever happened, while they was running the train on her,
they just said only one of the boys had sex with her. Was they running a train on her? What? See, this is why she should have probably shut up. Because she probably getting her nephew in even more trouble.
The lady who stayed upstairs must have on her way down to check her mail, or you get what I'm saying, drop her garbage.
I'm glad they're eating her up in this chat.
Garbage or whatever. She seen them, because how the building is made, where the lady who seen the kids is like right there, and the farm is right there. So you can look over her balcony and see everything was going on in the farm. So I guess she spotted them. So in the mix of her spotted them, she like, what y'all doing in there? So that's when she wanted to yell, y'all stop, y'all stop, y'all stop. But she went home. She never told her mama anything. Going on 2 days. She never told her mama anything. When the lady came to find out who daughter it was, she went and told the stepdaddy. So when the lady told the stepdaddy, that's when the little girl wanted to tell her mama. They dragged her from the park. They took her.
I'm glad that they're eating her up in her Facebook live chat, because this lady sounds ignorant as
there, and they raped her. I ain't justifying nothing. Let me tell you.
You are justifying it, you idiot.
Son, I ain't finna sit here and read y'all comments. I got on here to check.
You should read the comments, because they're telling you what you're saying sound dumb as
her. If you gonna tell a story, Tell a story the right way. Don't get on
The
here.
story is that they shoved rocks in her mouth and took advantage of her. Ain't nobody asked for no rocks in their mouth to quiet them down to have sex with. I'm sorry, man. There's no way you can even make that make sense. But these are the type of parents that they have that's making all these damn excuses because they don't want that little boy to go to jail. But guess what? He need to go. He got to go.
They're trying to make it seem like my nephew.
I don't care if he was purple, black, red, yellow, green, all the colors of McDonald's. Nigga need to go.
Gonna run for none of that. Because if he get direct file too, he already got a lawyer. But I know at the end of the day, your daughter ain't telling the truth. Your daughter only pressing charges because you forcing her to press charges.
Because she should, because she's a good mom. You idiot. Sorry.
Your daughter was never a virgin before she got touched.
Who gives a fuck? If she's getting rocks shoved in her mouth to silence her, man, I want her to get an IEP.
So what I'm supposed to sit here and say?
You should have said nothing. You shouldn't have said a damn thing. You should have said, sorry, nephew, what's wrong is wrong. And your ass gonna have to do the time, and that's it. You ain't gotta be over there celebrating the fact he going to jail and coming down him, but baby, he did what was wrong.
All they ass need their ass whooped.
Them boys need to be in jail. She might need her ass whooped for even trying to have sex with him if she was, but who gives a fuck about they essayed her.
Old school mama. I beat ass. My oldest daughter, 19 years old, 20 years old. I don't play that. I'm not none of them mama that side with no child. When you right, you right. When you wrong, you wrong. I ain't.
Clearly, you don't believe that because your nephew was wrong. He's up there trying to make us believe that the girl was trying to get a train ran on her. Like,
justify what none of them did. But when you get on social media, you trying to make it seem like, oh, it's just one side, when in reality, you know the truth, and it's not that side. That ain't finna go down like that, especially when it comes to my family. How she know everything that happened and she wasn't there? Okay.
We know rocks was shoved in that girl's mouth to silence her. That's enough. That's enough.
Nobody got nothing to say?
I wish I was in that chat. And actually, they do. She just ain't reading it.
Like I said, exactly. Whether it's my nephew, right is right, wrong is wrong. I never justified what they did was right. At the end of the day, I told them they goofy. All y'all going at it, that one little pussy, it's plenty of little young girls out here that's fast.
See, this is the problem, is that she's encouraging this shit. This is the problem.
I didn't even fuck with my nephew for doing what he did. Because
it's the mom that's sending the kids to school. If they hit you, you hit them back. You know, you ain't, if you take the stuff off, you call me. I'm gonna go up there and get your phone back. She's gonna be up there cussing us out. This is the mom right here. The auntie, the mama, whatever it is. This is who we gotta talk to.
I got daughters too. But at the end of the day,
and what if they shove rocks in your daughter's mouth and took advantage of her? You gonna be sitting there saying the same shit?
I'm not saying they right what they did, but when y'all get on social media and trying to say certain things that's not true, I ain't finna sit there and let you say nothing about my nephew.
You weren't even there. You asked who else wasn't there. They wasn't there to tell the story. Your ass wasn't there neither.
He's not on no run. He has a court date. He goes in on the 5th. That's the reason why the news saying he's not getting charged as a juvenile. If anything, you heard her say in the beginning, the other little boy didn't get charged. That's the other little boy that she was having sex with before. So how y'all not gonna charge him?
If she was having sex with that little boy, unfortunately, he didn't do nothing to her. But them other two just put the rocks in her mouth and then had sex with her because she just, and you said that she said no. I mean, baby, you just buried your damn nephew.
But y'all charging the rest. Y'all supposed to charge all of them that was there. It wasn't just them 3 there. It was about 5, 6, 7 boys in that.
Now, how do she know all this?
So why is only...
Listen, that's her cousin. Get off, cousin. Now, get off. Get your ass off here. All I need to see is this. That boy going to jail, and he can thank her. Even if he got a lawyer, he going to jail because Aunt's got to get on here and do all this shit. She just buried this little boy.
Get charged. All of them should get charged. Not just certain ones, But at the end of the day, like I said,
turn the nephew in, case closed. Whatever the story was, she said no. She went thinking she was there for
she got on here and said something about my nephew is on.
She went thinking she was gonna be one boy, not multiple. So what is the live about? Like, they're eating her up in the comments. Like, she should read the comments. Sometimes you should read the room.
Run. He's not on a run. He has.
You basically saying her daughter grown, so that's the reason it opens. You just justifying it.
A court date. He's going to court. Talk about running.
You got a daughter, but on this live defending this.
Bitch, don't play.
The comments is better than listening to her dumb ass. Y'all keep talking about the rocks. Who's to say that wasn't a lie too? That she, your ass off there.
Like I said, at the end of the day, his auntie got lawyer fee. So whatever lawyer fee I gotta pay.
And I hope you waste every last lawyer fee that you had. I hope they drain your bank account.
For mine, he's straight. Long as mine's straight, my nephew.
Now he's an animal. Wow.
Straight. That's all.
When the day ends, at the end of the day.
All that matter. I don't give 2 fucks. I could give 3-5 fucks of what she's saying, or what the rest of
We can tell.
y'all side with. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying my nephew wrong, but at the end of the day,
We know you not, and that's the fucking problem, that you're not saying that your nephew wrong when he dead ass wrong.
that's still my nephew. I still gotta stand by his side.
No, you don't. And see, that's the problem. That's the problem right there, that you actually believe that shit.
I still gotta be his auntie. I still gotta be the one to support them.
You do got to be his auntie, but you ain't got to support no that went and shoved rocks in a little girl's mouth and essayed her. I'm sorry. I don't know where you got that narrative from or that mentality from. Maybe that runs in the family. We should all be afraid of your family and our children being around them.
Man, hey, Sherette, I'm not caring about what these motherfuckers saying. You know that, cousin.
We know it's very obvious you don't care what people are saying.
But that bitch got on social media.
Because she consented to the first one, dumbass. The rest are her. You effing said it yourself. The rest are her. You fucking said it yourself. Because she consented to the first one, dumbass. Oh, yeah. The rest are R-worded her. You effing dumbass. Exactly. Her nephew is doomed.
Talking about, oh, he's on a run. On a run from where? He has a court date.
You should have put your internet on the damn front. Sorry. It's not even funny to be laughing at, but that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Spanish Honduran, he don't give a fuck. He's savage. So he like, shit, you been talking about you wanted to do this to me. You finna, do me like this. So I guess he got aggressive with her. And she.
Okay, I'm not restarting that. Okay, so yeah. This is what I'm saying. This is what this type of behavior creates when these parents don't want to be parents and they got aunties like this shit. Because y'all watched this. I ain't explaining. I gave my commentary. Let me see what y'all said. She probably can't even listen. She probably can't read me. She probably can't. She is sick and disgusting. I would be embarrassed. She probably just buried her nephew. To be honest, that boy ain't got a chance in hell. All they got to do is float that line. She don't have good lawyer money. These people are the problem. The problem people of society. I agree. For my man had an episode where 3 boys and a girl essayed a girl with special needs. They took that girl's. Yeah, I seen that. Look, I love For My Man. Not like I love it like stories, but I love watching that show because I'm just like it makes me want to. It makes me think. It made me want to be very overprotective over my kids at the school and to teach them, moral values and to be upstanding adults when they become those and teenagers and children and be kids, I still watch it. And because I still talk to some of these kids and I'm like, I hope that you guys don't be in a position like this one day. And I hope that you grow up to be really good people. It's sickening and it's sad. And I would hate to have a family member like that. I would hate it. All right, I got one more about the parents not liking the kids. We're gonna move over to the next story, y'all.
Theory on why the teachers were upset because the new age parents don't teach their kids shit. But here's the thing, why they don't teach their kids anything? Because they never really wanted to be parents to begin with. So the question becomes,
and that's probably a really good point. And also, she should have added that they probably don't even know how to do it themselves because they don't even know how to do the work.
Because if you really wanted to be a
hold on, let me read your message, Ms. Wilson. My 95-year-old blind grandfather loves for my man. I love for my man, Fatal Attraction. I just rewatched Gabriel Fernandez's story. They had one over on Hulu, and I went back and watched the one. They had a different one on Netflix, but the one that the series that they had on there is not there anymore. But I want to rewatch that too. Those stories really intrigue me. I'm just like, I couldn't imagine.
Parent and take on that role, you would make sure that your kid know how to read. You would do the things that a parent's supposed to do to guide their kid, right? So you got a whole bunch of people out there who they had the kid, but they had no intention on actually teaching the kid, guiding the kids, helping the kid out, saving up for the kid's future. Nothing. Just a bunch of motherfuckers having kids for fucking what?
And a lot of that stuff comes from, even when we talk about that girl, Amy Luciani, and Royce Reed. The Bible stuff. For better or for worse, and you can't get rid of them kids. But baby, these people don't need to be parents. You look at some of these parents. One of the little boys at the school told my little brother, I call my little brother my coworker. He told him, he said he's going to pow him in the head and push him in front of a bus and hope he get ran over. Now, I know that came from him being with his mother, because his grandmother wouldn't have that, and she was in the hospital at the time, and he was having a lot of issues with his mom being in and out of his life, and she had a bunch of children, and so you kind of learn, the backstories of these kids or whatever. But when he said that, I'm like, damn, that's harsh. Like, you want to unalive him and then puts him in front of a bus? That's crazy, but that's the life his mama lived.
Now we got young kids out here, they can't read, they can't do basic math. All they know is stuff off of TikTok.
And my kids, when I had that bank, y'all, I had to teach them how to count the money, and I didn't even realize I had to do that. They was like, because when they were trying to buy stuff in the store, I'm like, if you don't know how much money you got, I said, I'm going to take all whatever money you give me, I'm taking it. And then after you pay me, I'm going to tell you how much money that you spend. Did you spend the right amount of money? So no, they don't even know. They don't even know the difference between the coins, the penny, the nickel, the dime, the quarter, the 50-cent piece that they could find one of those. They know the difference between a $1 bill, $5 bill, $10 bill, $20 bill, $50 bill, $100 bill. They didn't know the difference in any of that stuff. And mind you, we got played cash registers in the school building. That's where I got the cash registers from. They were never even brought out.
Because here's the thing about teachers. Teachers are supposed to teach in the classroom, yes. But your parent is also supposed to help you at home. Like, leaving it all up to the teacher to teach your kid how to read solely and how to do math. Yes, they are supposed to be learning at school by the teachers. But as a parent, you are supposed to be invested in your kid to make sure they know how to do these things. Here's my theory on why the teachers were upset. Because the new age parents don't teach their kids shit. But here's the thing. Why they don't teach their kids anything? Because they never really wanted to be parents.
I think a lot of it is like, even if they couldn't teach them the stuff from school, if they just taught them the fundamentals of respect, right? If they had consequences for the things that they do. If I call and I'm like, hey, Miss So-and-so, your son was acting up today in class. Can you unplug the game for the night? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe for the week, because it's an everyday situation. He comes into the classroom and he's kicking desks. He's interrupting my class, making cat noises. He's doing this. Can we come together and take the phone? You can bring the cords to me so you don't have a way to even give them back to him. Bring them to me on Monday, and then next Monday I'll bring them back. On Friday I'll give them back to you. Can we do that? And if me and the parent could work together, we could get so much stuff done. But because parents won't work with the teachers, it's hard to do that. Because guess what? Just as much as this is your kid, we spend most of our days with your kid. My kids were with me 9, maybe 10 hours out of the day. We went to school at 7:30 in the morning. We didn't leave there until 4:30, 5 o'clock. And that's if we'd have a meeting after the damn school day. And then they had aftercare, and they still stuck to you. So to me, there should be some type of like, let's work together with this. I don't want shit at school. You don't want shit at home. Let's work together. Absolutely. If they had respect, then they would stay on task enough to learn. Exactly. That's all that it takes. Listen, I know you might not want to be bothered, at nighttime because you had to work all day, but I got what you're saying, Ms. Wilson. If you, I know you only bother because you have been at work all day and you might be tired, but listen, make that baby read a book. And that's not even a punishment. When we used to get home from school, my grandfather, because before my parents got married, I think they got married when I was like in the 3rd grade. My grandfather had a bookshelf in the house. I don't even know if kids have bookshelves in the house at all at this point. But he had a bookshelf. You had, when you got home from school, on top of your homework, you had to read for an hour. Why can't we do that now? If you know your kid can't read, why don't you read to them for maybe 30 minutes or read with them? Stop turning on YouTube to let YouTube read to your kid and read with them. We know they can't write it. Y'all, when one of the kids asked me to help him write in cursive, I almost cried tears of joy because he wanted to learn how to write in cursive. He said, I need to know how to sign my name on a check. I almost cried. He said, I might be famous one day. I might need to do a signature. I'm like, oh my God, he understands. It meant a lot to me that he even understood that. But it costs you nothing. So work with the teacher, because once you start that relationship, and it's just like a mother and a father, and now you have a teacher. It's 3-way a little bit, but once the kid knows that they can get past the teacher, because the mother and the father, or the father and teacher, or the mother and teacher, or whoever the guardian is with the teacher, those kids will really go far in life, because they know that I'm not getting past at home, and I'm not getting past when I get to school. My daughter's school taught cursive in the first. Oh, I love that. I love that. Ugh. These kids can't even write regular in the 1st grade at the school that I worked at. Education is not important. It's going to be important when they want them out their house. Amen. It's very important. And like, I'm telling you, some of the kids I work with, like, I'm so proud of them. I even, like, when I left the school, no lie, my kids that were advanced, I talked to every single parent, and I said, listen, I love your kid, and I love you. We here. Get them out of here. They're too advanced to be at this school. This is behavior problems. This is IEPs, 504s. Get them out of here. When I tell you, every last one of them, the parents got them kids up out of that school. Even my little baby that I work with, who had a 504, gone. And better schools. That's a daycare center for behavior problems. It's not a school. And there's so many great teachers that work at that school who really want something better for those kids, and administration don't give a fuck about it. It's sad. There's teachers that want to work with them. There's teachers who give everything they have there. There's some who don't care, but there's a lot of teachers who do. All right. Now let's get into what it sounds like when you got to call these parents. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna bring up this guy. When a parent calls you a stupid mother over the phone.
Tell me why you took Armani's fucking phone at the end of the fucking day. Now it's dismissal time if he was on his fucking phone so fucking well. You some stupid ass motherfuckers. Now my sister gonna come up there to get the fucking phone and they're gonna tell her a parent or a guardian has to pick the fucking phone up. Now I gotta fucking go to this, drive up to this motherfucking school to deal with you stupid ignorant ass motherfuckers. Half of you stupid bitches not even fucking certified to be teaching no motherfucking kids. Worried about a motherfucking cell phone when half of you bitches.
But you sent your kid to that school, they're not even certified to be teaching.
Keep them in your fucking pockets or out all fucking day strolling and on motherfucking TikTok, stupid dumb motherfucker. Tell me why.
And see, this is y'all might think this is a parody. This is a real phone call. This is the shit that we be getting all the damn time. They'll call you about that cell phone. They'll call you about some chips. They'll call you if the kid is crying. Don't you call them about your kid being sick at school though. Don't call about your kid being sick at school. Don't call them on the grades. Don't even call them something good going on. Don't call them for a parent-teacher conference. Don't call them about a report card. But they're going to call you. And the phone number you got, you're going to get a whole another phone number that you ain't never seen before. Over a cell phone. And you know what? If I was teachers, what I would do, if I couldn't get in contact with them damn teachers, give me that phone. I didn't talk to your mom anyway, so just give me that phone. It's the only way you're going to talk to them. They're going to call you about that phone. Now you got the new phone number and you get to talk to the parent. They might have to cuss you out first, but at least you get to talk to them. Listen, I've had many of these. They could just play ball, still sell drugs, still has Yep. That's what they probably end up doing. Or be on YouTube. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I mean, you gotta know how to read on everything if you get over here. Unless you streaming. I don't know. Yeah, let's look at another one. This is not a real phone call, I don't think, but this is what the conversations be like.
Yes, sir. I hated to give you a call, but unfortunately, we're in the same situation again. You said, why is he always in somebody's office? Because he keeps earning the visit. I don't just call kids just to be calling it. The behavior sends them. Yes.
Because nobody wants to call you.
Yes, ma'am. You were calling about his behavior from yesterday? He was having a bad day. I understand that, but so were the other 23 students whose learning was interrupted. So our personal moves don't override classroom or our building expectations. Yes, sir. He's sitting in my office right now. He was put out of class. This isn't like him. Well, it is today, and we actually see this behavior quite frequently. Yes, ma'am. He's been sent out of about 3 classes already. He's all over the place today. Well, so do athletes, but they still have to follow the rules. Yes, ma'am. I understand that you don't like this decision, but unfortunately, it's going to stand. You're calling the superintendent again? Okay, well, I'll go ahead and email her and send the attachment along with the documentation and everything that we discussed. Gotcha. So you've already talked to his teacher? All 5 of them? So is it that none of his teachers like him, or they all want him to follow the instructions that they're given in the classroom? Yes, sir. Did you speak with the teacher about that? He says the teacher is always calling on him. Well, she calls on everybody, but he's the only one that's always arguing back. It makes him feel picked on. Well, it's probably because correction is always taken personal when accountability is unfamiliar. Hey, did you get the voicemail I left you? Yes, he's been very vocal. No, it was not an accident. He was very intentional about what he said. He didn't mean it that way. Well, he said it that way, and impact matters.
He said it that way. That's all.
Our intent doesn't erase the
How whoever's on the phone know how the kid meant it.
damage that was made. I still wanted to give you a call. Not really sure why he's on his phone, but I wanted to make sure that I spoke to you myself. So he's going to be suspended. He was fighting.
Okay, well, you're calling me like he was the only one. Why weren't the other parents called?
Why didn't I call the other parents? Well, I did call the other parents. They just didn't argue with the documentation or the video footage.
Yep, that's...
Yes, sir. I hated to give you a call, but unfortunately, we're in the same situation again. You said, why is he always in somebody's office? Because he keeps earning the visit.
That's really what it be sounding like, y'all. Like, this is real shit, to be honest. Who is this guy talking? He sounds familiar. I don't know. Principal Allen, that's what it said on the theme. Vice Principal Allen. He's on Instagram. They love to say they don't like my kid. Oh my God. This little boy, the one I was about his grandmother, he was like, he thought he would go home. Oh, they hate me. They hate me. I'm like, ma'am, he sits at my desk every single day. When I had the bank at the school, literally, he robbed the bank and was giving out money to people in the classroom. And I had to get a bank manager, and the bank manager found him stealing, and then I had to go to the principal, and we had to pull a whole thing to teach him what happens if you steal from a bank. That's how serious that we took that shit. Like, I'm telling you, we all hate him. I said, the thing is with him is that I love this boy so much because I have pictures from him when he was in the first grade, where he was always in trouble. He would be with me every place he went to, from first to second, and then third grade. He got to a class with me, and all of a sudden, I didn't like him. And I'm like, that's not true. What the problem is that you come to school and you don't want to do. And see, before I was your get out of class card. But now you in class with me, and they put you in here with me on purpose because they knew you would have to do work because you're in the class with me. And guess what you're doing? Trying to get out of class. But guess what? You're not getting out of this class. I'll be on the phone. Your grandma could be on the phone, me on speakerphone through the entire class. You're going to be in this classroom. Ate him up on the inside part. He couldn't deal with it. Couldn't deal with it. So we just traveling down the road. What happens, y'all? So after you make these phone calls, the kid comes back to school the next day, and guess what? They're still acting a fool. So you send them to administration. Administration gets when they walking around the school building, talk to them. Oh, friend, what's going on, friend? You want some snacks? You want something to drink? Did you have a bad night? What was going on, friend? And then guess what they do? Send them right back to class.
What? Whoa! Who said you come back in here? Mr. Jones told me to come back to class. He told me that Mr. Jones, the only way, he just told me to come back to class. After you just cursed me and the whole class out, you're not about to. What do you mean? He told me to come back to class. He said I was just hungry. Now I better behave when I get back in here, sir.
This is not a joke, y'all. This is for real.
That's what I'm doing. Relax. He's right there. He's coming right behind me. Hey, Mr. Moore, I'm sorry. Can you come in real quick? I talked to him. He should be calm now. Everything should be good. Like, I just sent him out and he's already back. It's only been like 5 minutes. Like, yeah, I just feel like it was hunger. Like, usually when he gets hungry, this is how he starts to act. Because of hunger? Because he's hungry? Okay, so then why couldn't he eat in your office? Why would you send him right back? Right. We can't hold him in our office because then now we'll be taken away from his education. He's already missing on education when he was disrupting the class and cursing everybody else. So what?
And he's in the class not even getting an education.
Is him sitting in your office for another 10 to 15 minutes till the bell rings gonna change? That's true. I mean, I don't make the rules. I get what you're saying, but I don't make the rules. That's just what it is. But yeah, see, this is why, like, y'all make rules because y'all not in the classroom. Y'all don't understand. We already had a talk. We already spoke about it. If there's any more problems, you can send him back out again. Okay. Send them right back to you? Yes, you can send them right to me. Okay, bet.
And literally, I mean, it's looping, but it's gonna look just like this again.
What? Whoa. Who said you come back in here?
It's gonna look just like that. If you have a problem again, send them back to him. He'll come back here with some more snacks because he was hungry again. Administration don't do a damn thing for you at all. They don't. They walk around the school with the kids, letting them have a good old damn time. They in trouble, but what happened to in school suspension? You know, they tried that with me one year. They let me be the in-school suspension teacher. Them kids got even worse when they got into that classroom. I said, oh, y'all got the right one today. The right one. Because after here, you going home. I got everybody's phone numbers. And I'm going to call every 5 seconds if I have to call. By the time you get done with me, your ass will be on for the rest of the school year because we at the end of the year anyway. 2 kids went home. The other 10 went back to class because they knew I wasn't playing. They fight at school, get suspended, go home, play video games, hang out with their parents and family, come back to school doing the same shit. That's very true. Very true. It's like a little vacation. It's like a little vacation. Now, are we going to pull up this guy again? But for this part, I don't think I agree with him. And this says, things administrators wish teachers understood about discipline. I don't think that administration understands, and maybe his school is very different. I can't speak for his school, but for the one that I worked at, absolutely not. I think what the administration understands, what teachers wish, I wish they understood what the teachers wish would happen, needs to happen.
All right, now I know I might get in trouble for this, and teachers, I love y'all, but this one is for you. I know some of y'all get upset with your administrators because of a consequence that is given to a student that you feel like it should have been different. Let me help you understand what that process looks like. First things first, just because the consequence wasn't the consequence that you wanted doesn't mean that there wasn't a consequence given. Discipline isn't about what feels good in the moment. It's actually about what changes the behavior. Now,
the behaviors don't change, though.
I know the behavior frustrated you, but discipline decisions are about the whole student, not just the moment in your class. A referral doesn't transfer classroom management to the office permanently. The office handles the discipline. The classroom still owns the culture.
Maybe at his school it works this way, but I'm telling y'all, this didn't work this way at my school. If administration actually handled the situation, we wouldn't have had the school that I was working at probably wouldn't be shutting down right now.
Sometimes the discipline teachers want is about control, not correction. A referral doesn't end class.
It's about control, not correction. It's about control, not correction. I need to be able to control my class so I can correct the damn behavior. And don't be saying shit that be rhyming and making it sound cute. I need to be able to control my class so I can correct any damn behavior that's going on in that classroom. And that sounded cute.
Classroom management, it pauses it.
They always throw up classroom management. I'm telling y'all this, and I'm telling y'all, this is why I'm like, I don't know if I really can follow his direction on this one. It's always classroom management. When you got 2 months in the classroom that's managing a classroom, but there's one kid that can disrupt this entire room and make it a minefield of shit. It's not classroom management problem. It's this, get him out of here. He needs to be at another school, or he needs to have discipline so that when he comes back here, he knows there's going to be a damn consequence to the actions.
Not every consequence needs an audience to be effective. At the end of the day, discipline is not about who's right in the moment. It's about what's right for the student. If discipline...
See what I'm saying? It's about what's right for the student. There's 30 other ones in the classroom. What about them? And see, this is the shit I be talking about, and this is the part that I can't really agree with. What's right for the students is you get him proper help. He needs to be in a proper classroom. And that's why we used to have special education classrooms, you know, where the IEPs used to go. And if I'm forced to go, because I mean, it's going to be chaotic sometimes in there. but the whole class should not have to suffer for 1 or 2 or 3 kids who have IEPs or 504 or behavior problems. And to me, I feel like this is some bullshit that he's saying. It's some bullshit.
Was based on frustration alone, every bad day would end in a suspension. Please know.
I bet you it will stop the damn kid from having a suspension at school because the parents gonna be like, I'm tired of you coming home, and I sit there or take the kid to another damn school where they're gonna behave at.
That a consequence that looks small can still carry a big lesson. When discipline becomes about the adult's feelings, the lesson gets lost. Fair discipline means the rules apply even when emotions are high. The consequence you want, it might feel fair, but the one we give has to be lawful. Let's be honest, sometimes the discipline teachers want will get the school sued. We can't give consequences based on frustration. We have to give them based on policy. The goal of discipline is...
I think out of all the shit that these people at these schools be doing, lawful, it should be lawful is a crazy word to use. Passing kids on every school year that failed. I would, is that lawful? Because I would love to know. And I'm not saying that his school is doing this, but every year that these kids come to school, I mean, they were straight F's. Fall semester, winter semester, spring semester, every semester, it's straight F's. We going on to the 4th grade. Kids, and they came to school all school year, but maybe 2 to 3 days. Moved over to the next grade level. Was that lawful? I would love to understand that.
It's correction, not satisfaction. Sometimes the best discipline doesn't look dramatic. It looks effective. I promise you, we're not ignoring the behavior just because the consequence wasn't public. If discipline was as simple as kick them out, we wouldn't need administrators. A referral shows me the moment.
It could be in-school suspension. It could be them having consequences about not going on field trips and not going outside for recess. But you can't do none of that shit either now. There's a lot of things that y'all could do but y'all don't want to because we can't do this shit. Baby, we stayed inside all the damn time. We cancel field trips all the damn time. We used to have, thank God, we came up with our own things at the school. We had a thing called Friday Celebration, where if the kids didn't get enough for our class, you had to have enough money to even go. And some of the kids, they would stay in the classroom because they wouldn't spend their money on it. But if you didn't have enough money to go, you couldn't go because we could not trust administration to let the kids, because they would let the kids go anyway. But if you didn't have enough money, you couldn't go. That's the way of getting around it.
Job is to see the pattern. Good discipline corrects the student without losing the student. A consequence that teaches will always outlast a punishment that satisfies. All right, now I know I might get in trouble.
And yes, I do agree with you, Princess. Make the parents accountable, and I added the F word for you. That's what it is. It's like you can't keep pacifying it. It's illegal. It's not legal, baby. That parent will be sitting in that classroom every month, week. What do you mean? We had same boy. I'm gonna talk about the same boy. The boy I was telling you about who came into the classroom and started to scratch the blood out of my hands. They told him that his mom, he could not come back to the school until she came and sat with him at school. You know what she did? She brought that boy to school, dropped him off, and told the people outside at the pickup line that she was going to Starbucks and she would be right back. Baby, she came back at 3 o'clock to pick him up. It ain't even funny. And guess what? The next day he was back at school. And so after they get away with it, this is what you have to do at school. This is literally what you have to deal with at school.
All right, so what are some keywords for chemical? Right, dissolving. All right, so what are some keywords for chemical? Right, dissolving.
Everybody got to ignore them. This reminds me of that boy I'm talking about to y'all about. I love him to death now, y'all. He's such a better kid now, but it took a long time. It took a long time. He just called me last month and told me he got 2 A's, and I was so happy for him. But this is how I used to be in the classroom, and you had to ignore him. You had to ignore him. I ain't never seen this shit at school when I was in school. Shit, if I knew I could have did it, I would have did that shit at school too. All right. Now let's get into the bigger part of this. So the children that have the IEPs and the 504s and what else she said on here? The I never even heard of ODDs. I want to get into that because this lady, she's going to talk about the most important advice for parents of children with behavioral disorders or diagnosis, and etc. What'd you just say, Princess? The teacher across the hall from us is on leave. Her kid's been cutting up. A parent came and say in the class with her daughter, I told her mom, her neck and eyeball, her eyes been broke lately. As it should. As it should. All right, let's get into this. Because we going somewhere, y'all. We going somewhere. Just stick with me. Just stick with me.
There are no IEPs in the real world.
Okay. And that's the number one thing that we need to talk about is the fact that we're setting these kids up for failure. We're setting these kids up for failure in real life. When these kids graduate from high school, because I mean, I don't know if the kids who cannot read are going to college. When they get out of high school and they throw these tantrums, they throw in these classrooms, and they get pulled over by the police, there's no IEPs in 504s in the real world. If the school keep calling you as an interventionist, because they want to meet with you about your kid maybe needing a 504 IEP, answer that phone, especially early or on in like primary. And hopefully, you are at a school where they can help that kid learn basic life skills. Okay, make sure you guys are liking the video, by the way. Hopefully, they can help your kid, put that kid in the best place they can be at where they're going to be able to learn life skills. Because once they get out of high school, IEP 504 overboard. Your IEP going to be behind bars if they pull you over and you're doing the same damn shit. We're going to keep going, but I just want to, I want to start this over.
No IEPs in the real world. There are no IEPs. When your child leaves the school system, the IEP dies. There are no IEPs in the real world. The purpose of the IEP is for them to get access to an education.
Mm-hmm.
But you as a parent are responsible to make sure that throughout the IEP.
Who? Oh, the parent? Okay. You as the parent are responsible. Okay, got it.
We fade away as many accommodations as possible so that when they age out of the IEP, aka they graduate high school.
They age out of the IEP. When they graduate from high school, in case you didn't hear, when they age out. So you as the parent, you know, it's on you because once the kid ages out of the IEP, when they graduate out of high school,
they don't need the accommodations anymore.
Because even if they do, they're not there.
They can cope. It's called coping skills, life skills. There are no IEPs in the real world. If they go and attack someone in a supermarket when they're 21.
Guess what happens? Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess?
And you come over here with this little old piece of paper from school, the judge gonna laugh in your face. Physical assault is physical assault. Your disability, your label does not give you a right to assault, hurt others, or commit crimes. Therefore, the most loving thing you can do for a child with a disability is help them develop as many life skills as that particular child has the capacity and the potential to develop.
And that's coming from home. At home. Because the school won't be able to do what we can do. Home. My teammate is autistic and entitled than a monk. I have another one somewhat on the spectrum, selfish as they are exhausting. And I could believe it.
And when parents do that, beautiful things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the sad part for those little humans that turn into adults. Y'all little awareness shirts don't make a difference. What would make a difference is for those that cannot develop independent life skills to have therapeutical facilities with highly equipped personnel, technology, and resources to take care of them as adults.
And I would hope no parent wants that for their kid. I would hope that no parent wants that for their kid. If you start early, that doesn't have to be their end goal. They're in the life situation. Imagine knowing that your child has an IEP, or for you as an adult realize this, and then you are screwed, and you have to being taken care of in a facility, maybe for the rest of your life, part of your life after you become an adult, when it's going to be handled as you were as a child. You failed your kid. They didn't ask to be here. You laid down and had that baby with that man or that woman. It's your responsibility. They want to come this for everything. I'm looking like we don't give a fuck out of this at all. Ain't no IEPs out here in this world.
We don't have those anymore. Try to get on a wait list nowadays in any zip code in this country. There's not funding. We want to talk about awareness. We want to talk about inclusion.
Be aware about it now while your kid is a kid and help them before it's too damn late.
But nobody's talking about the important part. Where's the money to take care of those who need specialized care?
Mm-hmm.
There are no...
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That's very true. Let's move here to this girl right here.
I'll say this and then I'm gonna go, okay? Bring special ed back. And I'm
bring it back, boo. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring them out. Bring them out.
I mean, the special ed classes, like when I was in school, because I'm an IEP mommy, I was in special ed my entire... Matter of fact, I think I was in special ed before I was born. I mean, I want old school special ed classrooms back where you had to tell all your friends you was in there. I'm in here.
Yes. Oh, God, I miss those days.
Because I was bad. That's why I keep beating everybody up. No, baby, you're in there because your favorite color is B.
Sorry, that's not funny. That's not funny. That's not funny. But yes. And we knew. And the crazy part is when we had special ed classes, when I grew up, we never made fun of them.
I know that the parents fought for the kids not to be segregated. They didn't want the special education classrooms and they wanted them to be integrated with regular ed. But now the teachers is overwhelmed and overworked. Mm-hmm. Now your kid can't get that individual attention that they actually need because the teachers is trying to modify their curriculum so much to make sure they accommodate everybody. I know a lot of people won't agree because they just don't understand, but I was the girl who was in the special ed classroom. It was 6 kids and 12 teachers. I needed that. Now things are very different. The most they're giving your kid is like a little bit of extra time on a test. If it's real, real bad, they may give them a para. I don't care. Give me.
That's what it is. I'm telling you, I was there. I'm telling you. I am telling you, she is not lying.
Need the special ed classrooms back. I'm going to say this and then.
She's not lying. Imagine your kid having multiple teachers trying to help them with different aspects of their learning disabilities and their behavior problems. You got a behavioral para, you have a regular para, you have them in intervention. You have like multiple people in this room helping with these kids who have a problem learning and behavior problems, but they have a space to be who they are. Imagine the kid who's afraid to raise his hand because he doesn't want to sound like he doesn't know anything or sound like he's slow. That's the only one I can think of right now because he's in a room with kids who are way more advanced than him or her. Imagine that, where they got a chance to actually be a kid instead of being afraid to even be in the room with these people who are intimidating to them because they don't know as much, or they can control their behaviors, or when they start acting out because they are having them, everybody looking at them like they something wrong. Imagine that space for them. Whatever parents fought for that, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves because these kids right now are suffering. That's up. It's up. That is up. All right. The next thing that we need to bring back and parents need to start fighting for this is having spelling tests. Y'all know I gave my kids that worked in intervention spelling tests, and them babies could read and they could spell because they had a spelling test every week. Bring it back.
Bring back Hooked on Phonics.
Bring back Hooked on Phonics. It worked for me, not for me. I didn't use it, but you know that was the slogan that they had.
Bring back spelling test. Bring back old school spelling test. Hold on. Old school spelling test.
Do they even still have Hooked on Phonics?
Yeah, I know when I bring out regular paper, I'm going back to the 1900s. Remember old school spelling test? You had to write your name. You had to number it.
These kids don't even know how to write their name at the top of the paper with the date underneath on the line underneath there. They don't even know how to do that.
You got to do it like this. You got to fold it in half.
I would even draw the line.
And then you have to spell apple, banana. We need to spell coincidence. We need to spell dexterous. We're in high school. Y'all know what I got? I got a book for y'all. Hold on. Bring back. I have this book. I've had this book forever. Since actually I was in high school more than likely. I have two of them. 100 words every high school student should know. No, not learn in high school. Bizarre. Spell it. Boisterous. Spell it. You need to do this with your friends. Have a party, have a game night, make a spelling test. I seen somebody do that. Divulge. Can you divulge that information for me, please?
That would be fun.
Omnivore. Can you spell it? Outrageous. Recede. Spectrum. I'm just reading books that high schoolers are supposed to know. Yet they take it.
Kids is at first grade level, fourth grade at the highest.
He says something like, Miss, I didn't know some of the words. Because y'all don't read no books. We're not testing them in vocabulary. We're testing them in can you read? Phonics. Pronunciation. I gave them a quizzes that said, how many syllables are in the word rhinoceros? They were like, Miss, what's a syllable? What's a syllable?
I think my kids knew what a syllable was. I'm pretty sure even my kids in intervention knew what a syllable was now.
Syllable. How many times do you open? Vocabulary test, spelling bee test, ASAP, no Rocky.
And that's great. We had a spelling bee too, but I mean, we knew the kids was going to be able to go. We already knew the kids was going to be able to go. All right, let's move over here to our next story. So kids today are going to more school and learning less. Kids today are going to more school and learning less. Let's get into it.
So a sad fact our generation has to face is this. Our kids are less cognitively capable than we were at their age. Every generation has outperformed their parents, and that's exactly what we want. We want sharper kids. And the reason for this largely has been school. Gen Z is the first generation in modern history to underperform us on basically every cognitive measure we have, from basic attention to memory to literacy to numeracy to executive functioning to even general IQ, even though they go to more school than we did. So why? What happened? What happened around 2010 that decoupled schooling from cognitive development? If you look at the data, once countries adopt digital technology widely in schools, performance goes down significantly, to the point where kids who use computers about 5 hours per day in school for learning purposes will score over 2/3 of a standard deviation less than kids.
I really do believe that because I also thought about the fact that a lot of times, like especially when I was like in acting classes, I wouldn't learn my lines for like plays that I was in unless I rewrote out the my script. So that's very interesting.
kids who rarely or never touch tech at school. And that's across 80 countries. And we now have the clear understanding of why tech does not work for learning. And it is all biological. We have evolved biologically to learn from other human beings, not from screens. And screens circumvent that process. Think back to your childhood, to your schooling. I
also think it comes with the fact that, like, if you're on a screen, you're not afraid to get it wrong, right? Because I mean, it'll just fix it for you. So that's very interesting. I love that perspective, because that's very true. You don't like when you're in the classroom and they call on you. If you get it wrong, there is that fear of getting it wrong. Like, I mean, I talked about the little boy I work with. There's that fear, so you don't either raise your hand or they're going to call on you, and you're going to want to learn it the next time. So if they call on you, then you'll know the answer. But if you're on a computer, it'll either fix it for you, or you're going to keep getting it wrong, and you're going to just not keep doing it, or you're going to move on if you can move on. So that's very interesting. That's a very interesting article. It's a very interesting article. Let me see what else I got. So yesterday I brought up this conversation about this school who wanted to have school 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I wanted to clarify this, okay? Because I went and read the article on it. There was like a post on it that I read on social media, but I went to the actual article. So what they're trying to do is they're not going to be in technical school for 12 hours a day. They're trying to help parents who have to work, basically be a care center for the children while the parents work. So they would have instruction from 9 a.m. to 4:30, which is a regular school day here in Atlanta. And then with optional hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But they would also get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They would also get basically like an after-school program. It would help them with their homework if they need extra help with different subjects. So I'm not mad at this now. I was mad at it yesterday, but I'm not mad at it now, especially because it's not. I don't think it's like the teachers have to be there for this. I thought it was just like they had to be there for 12 hours, but no, it's just that they have regular school from 9 to 4:30, but they can be there from 7 a.m. in the morning, which is latchkey, and then which is the latchkey program from 7 to 7. So yeah, it's an optional thing, but they have opportunity to have it from 7 to 7, and it's in New York. So I do think that it would be helpful for people in New York, and actually probably even here in Atlanta, to be honest. As long as these parents are not taking advantage of it and making sure their kids are going there to actually take advantage of the tools to be able to have. Someone asked me about that, said that, yeah. We talked about it yesterday over here on my channel, and I was like, why would they even do that? But now that I read about it, it's not a bad idea, to be honest, for parents who actually need it, right? So we went through all this, right? And my main thing that I want to get back to is this. Number one, I do feel like parents need to step up and be a part of the community. And this is what I was telling my student that I work with when I first got him. And now I'm his God Dash. Shout out to me. But I always tell him that I'm a part of his community, right? It's me, the nurse, his mom, and whatever teachers that he does have. Right? And his family members and everybody else. But we are his core community. We cannot work without one of these parts leading off. It takes a village to raise a child thing, right? If you're just sending your kid to school for us to babysit them, it's not going to work. Because when we call you, you don't answer the phone, your kid is sick, or when your kid is having a behavioral problem, or when your kid, anything that's going on, we can't call you. We're lacking one part of the community when it comes down to your specific child. Just like we go to work, you have to come to work as a parent as well. And unfortunately, that's not unfortunately, fortunately, you have a team of people to help you with that. So if you send your child to school and they're with me for 9 hours out of the day, hopefully, I don't need to know. I ain't gonna get into that part. 9 hours out of the day, those 9 hours of the day, you trust me with your child. right? And so when I send that child back home, ain't nothing wrong. They've been with me all day. Behavior problems, I dealt with them. When they did good, I celebrated them. I made sure they had their meals, their snacks. I did extra projects with them. I taught them some things that I knew. I even went out of my way and bought them extra stuff to show them about financial literacy. And then I send them home, and all of it goes out the window because they own an iPad. We can't win in that type of situation because they weren't on an iPad all day at school. They get home and they're on the Xbox. We can't win in that situation because what is the grades looking like at a school, right? What extra stuff that can we do to advance you? Are you reading? What grade level are you reading? You're in 4th grade, but are you reading at a 5th or 6th grade level? Are you reading at a 3rd or 4th grade level? Let's look at those type of situations. Let's have an hour of reading, 30 minutes of reading a book before you get into the games and you have dinner. Stop making excuse that, oh, she got cheerleading practice, he got football, basketball, golf practice. Because if the baby can't read, can't do basic math, it don't matter. They're going to be getting taken advantage of left and right once they get out of high school. Underpaid, or maybe they get paid at the wage they should be paid because they can't even read enough, or they only type it with 2 fingers at work. So I asked for the parents out there, the grandparents, the aunties, the uncles, the cousins, the brothers and sisters, whoever you are that's older or younger or whoever you are that see this. When you go to school, or when you send your child to school, or your sibling to school, or your family member to school, how do you help advance that person's education when they get home? How do you intertwine your relationship with that teacher that you have for that year, you know, and going forward, or even with the school, with the principal, with the whoever? Because right now we are failing. We had a program at the end of the school year, 3rd grade year, and we had different clubs. We had a science club. They had a dance club. They had a arts and craft club. I think they had like a rapping thing too. It was a rapping one. 4 things, right? Me and my little brother, we taught the science class. We did a butterfly project. We did crystals. We made crystals, and we did sugar crystals, and we did like we had a crystal kit where they grew crystals in the classroom. You know how many of those kids came to that class? 3. You know how many wanted to come in there after the fact they realized what we were doing? Because the project that we were doing, they were sitting in the classroom. When you went to rap, that was over when you left the room. When you went to dance, that was over when you left the room. You do that shit every day when you go home. When you do arts and crafts, you took that shit home the same day you made it. The butterflies were sitting in the classroom growing. They had to take them outside and sit them in the sunlight. They checked on them every day. I mean, they had a full day's work of stuff to do. They was taking down notes of every different thing that was happening while the butterfly was in the cocoon. When the sugar crystal was going on there, they showed how they went in, they dipped it in. We went upstairs into the cafeteria. We had to boil the water. We had to break it back downstairs. We did the food coloring. We did the flavors of the sugar crystals. They dipped them in and they watched them grow. The kids were pissed because they wanted to do all the fun, fast shit they've been doing at home. And then the kids took home candy, sugar candy, basically. They took home crystals they took home. And then at the end of the school year, we released butterflies out in the courtyard. experiences you would never get to have because you want to go rap and dance and do art, shit you do every day. And because we only bought enough for the kids who said they wanted to do it, we couldn't add you later on. So you missed out. The kids that at my school, they think that Atlanta is the only place in the world, and it's sad to me. When I told them I'm from Ohio, they thought that Ohio was in Africa. That was sad to me. Here's I showed them origami. Let me show y'all my butterfly project. This is my butterfly project. The kids documented this. I can't play the music because it's copyrighted. These are experiences they would never get to have, but they made this. Let me see. Hold on. I showed the kids how to make ninja stars out of origami. Let me see if I can. I think it's on here too. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? But these are experiences they would never get to have because all they do is TikToks and shit. I can show you how to school because I'm working no more. Hold on. I can't play the music on that either. But look, origami. This little boy would never get to learn this stuff. Oh, we made kites, it wasn't ninja stars. But this is stuff that they would never get to learn. Because they want to do TikToks and dancing and rapping. I learned all this type of shit when I was in school, so I didn't never want to make my kids missing out on nothing. All right? So what I say is what we need to bring back is things like this.
To me like you talk to your mother. Talk to me. You think you're tough, don't you? What's up on me? Cuss me out. Tell me you ain't gonna do what I say do. I dare you. You ain't gonna do it to me? Why you do it to her? Why? Why do you talk to your mother disrespectfully? You don't know why you do it. Today I'm gonna help you find out why. And today it ends. Today it ends. Do you understand?
Gentle parenting does not work. You can't
be a parent. Don't be a friend. That boy didn't die because his dad yelled at him. He was being disrespectful to his mom, and he thought he could get away with it. But here comes his dad. You think he's gonna keep disrespecting his mother? No. Or else you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna end up doing shit like this.
Would post on Snapchat, the cops came and he found me. And they're taking me to jail. I wish this was a joke. I really do. I'm so scared.
Everything's not a damn joke, and now you scared and you crying because you made a Snapchat thing. Nobody's gonna see it. But guess what? The FBI seen it.
Have you been on Snapchat earlier today?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Okay. And what did you say in the Snap?
I had a lesson plan, and one of the kids turned off my computer on my lesson plan.
Who did you send that to?
My boyfriend, with roommates.
2 roommates?
Yeah, I have 2 roommates. It was as a joke, and it was only to 3 people. I'm realizing now that it was stupid.
Not a joke. It's not a joke because what if you was really going to do that and they didn't show up and you actually did do it? But you ain't afraid of nobody. You know, adults, you don't have respect for nobody. So you making damn jokes like this And people really do this shit at schools.
How we got it was the FBI. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you did say shoot student. And so you are going to go with us. Okay. I do got to process you. You're going to have to say that.
Take her away. Take her away.
Night in jail.
Oh,
Okay.
this is crazy.
I know.
It's not.
I did not mean it to get to this
I know.
far. Like, this is insane.
It's too bad because you should have never did it. Take her away. Take her away. But we need more of this. Teach your kids respect for not only the teachers, but you as well. It's not a game.
I don't know about y'all, but I grew up in an era where we was taught to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, all that, yeah, what? They get the shit slapped out of, you know what I'm saying? Mama wasn't going for that. Pop's damn show wasn't going for that. Because who the fuck you talking to? Type shit, you feel me? These kids nowadays, overly disrespectful. They talk back to their parents. They cuss at their parents. They get loud with their parents. They even get in their parents' face.
I wish I would. My head, y'all wouldn't have ever met me.
Boy, can you imagine if I would have gotten my parents' face talking that rah-rah? All of a sudden, they turn it into Muhammad Ali, more for Mike Tyson. Ain't no fucking way. These kids, y'all wonder why y'all kids are so fucking bad. Y'all want to be y'all kids, brothers and sisters, so bad that y'all don't even teach them how to respect one another, or even fucking elders. If you don't teach them how to respect their elders, why the fuck would they respect you?
Right.
You don't whoop your kids. Now, I'm not saying beat the dog shit out of your kids.
And I think that's what the biggest thing is that people don't understand. Is I think that the generation that are raising these kids, maybe the whoopings went into beatings or it got excessive. I don't know. But the gentle parenting, I mean, if it works for some, hey, I mean, do your thing. And you can still gentle parent by just removing a lot of things. You can actually stop having a gentle parent by removing the screens out of your household and giving it an hour out of the day, if that's what it's going to be. But living on those screens, y'all, it's not working. It's making these kids dumber and dumber every day. It's not helping. I could see getting on to get some information and then logging off, saving it and then going through or whatever. We had kids in the classroom getting on ChatGPT, answering damn questions for a test, and then or using a calculator underneath the table, which I mean, we all try to do that, but we knew better though.
Stomp their ass and all that shit. No, that's abuse. But goddamn, belt the ass has always worked. It's always got the point across. Y'all motherfuckers is so soft nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So quit trying to be buddy with your child and be a fucking parent. You know what I'm saying? Teach them respect. It'll take them a long way. But if you don't never teach them respect, when they get out in this world and they be disrespectful and shit happen, then guess who it's on? It's on you. Because it starts in the house. Mm-hmm. When you leave that motherfucking house, you are a representative from everybody that lives in that fucking house. Mm-hmm. So if you raise a disrespectful motherfucker, disrespect is going to come from all angles. And you to blame. So start being a fucking parent. I don't know.
And the thing is that you don't want to be meeting your kid down at the police department or at a hospital or, sadly to say, at a morgue. That's just real. Would you rather save your kid's life, or would you rather have an education, be smart, be intelligent, and respectful in life? It don't mean make them bow down to people that they ain't got to bow down to, but at least make sure that they're respectful to them, not to just you, but to themselves. Have some respect for yourself. Like walk in a room and let people be like, that man going somewhere. That young lady going somewhere. We got sexy reds out here. I couldn't imagine. Could not imagine. Also, teach your kids some manners. It ain't all about just the teach respect. Ain't all about whooping them and all that other stuff. And again, whooping does not mean beating your kids with extension cords and broomsticks and all that stuff. But a little paddling ain't, a little smack on the ass ain't bad. taking away that iPad and limit that damn iPad, please. All right. Well, let's teach your kids some manners.
I want y'all to teach your kids common courtesies. Common courtesies. Courtesies that are common to civilization, to citizenship in the world. One of them, excuse me. It is to pardon yourself, to get out of someone else's way, to excuse you if you made a loud outburst or whatever. It's just proper manners. Excuse me. Pardon me. May I get by? When somebody walking dead straight at me, because you're supposed to be walking on the right side of a hallway or driving on the right side of the road, and you don't say, excuse me, pardon me, and then you hit my shoulder, I have an issue with that.
And you'd be amazed how many fights as the school start because you done stepped on the kids done stepped on other kids' shoes. And I'm like, well, did you say excuse me? No. They had no idea they were supposed to say that. I'm sorry, my bad. Excuse me. Like, they don't even mean it. One of the boys told one of my kids told another kid, that's why your uncle did. And I'm like, do you even know what you just said? Matter of fact, he didn't say why he did. That's why your uncle got murdered. That's what he said. I'm like, do you even know what that, like, what that means? I'm like, why are you so morbid?
Common courtesies. Walking on the same right side of the road. Common courtesy. Knocking on a door before you walk into it, or knocking on the door to get the attention of somebody else. Them kids be jangling on the doorknob, thinking that that's a way for me to let me open the door for you.
You won't get in.
If you were to come to my house and jangle on there, baby, you might meet your maker, because that's invading spaces that you didn't ask for permission to go in. We need common courtesies. Another common courtesy, saying please, yes ma'am, no ma'am, or just yes, no. When your response is with a question, what? Why? The attitude? You can just simply respond with, what is it that you were saying? Can you repeat that one more time? In the elevator, don't get me started on the elevator, baby. If someone is getting off of the elevator, you wait. This is for all adults too. Then you go in after this. Common courtesies. Very common. You need to sneeze, elbow, turn around, cover your.
They will cough all over you. I had a coat that I got from the school. I used to love that coat. It was orange and it was blue. Them kids coughed, snotted, slept, slobbered all over that. It was like the class blanket. Them kids did everything but where to go outside to be warm.
What are y'all teaching them at home? Because if you expect me to teach them that at school, I got an academic job I need to do. It's math, English, reading, writing. The human part, you birth the human, cater to the human, care for the human, teach the human how to be human.
Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff, y'all. And so those are all the things that I wanted to talk about today. I know this was a long live. I expected it to be 3 hours, but this topic was really on my mind because we were talking about education stuff the other day. And I'm like, let me go on and like just drop some things for you guys to see, maybe share with a friend. I hope that I touched on some things that you guys may have thought about, you may need, or you might want to share. Education is not easy, and we are losing our educators left and right. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that these parents and these teachers had to come together and be on one accord. We are family until that kid or that child, whatever you want to call it, student, scholar, is out of my care for that school year. If that's what you decide to do, even if you decide to keep it on like my parents have done, you know, it's important for us to come together for the success of that child. And I hope that someone heard this live today and was able to see some of the examples that I showed today and understand that, like, teachers are tired and we need your help as a parent or as a guardian. Because without that, we're doomed. So that's my spiel, y'all. Listen, if you guys have not already done it, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. This is not my normal content. I do sprinkle some stuff in here every once in a while about, you know, education. But if you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on, turn them on all so you're notified every time I go live or post new videos. Like the video, share the video, comment down below in the comment section. If you got anything out of this live, please comment down in the comment section. Also, you guys can also support the channel through Cash App, which is right here, or you guys can do a super chat, super sticker, whatever you want to do. With all that being said, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.
I did it, 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 you did it, I did it, you did it.